Yeah, that's weird. You know what? I'm gonna turn that GIF off.
Mm.
Just just to kind of play it safe. Because I got a weird feeling that,
Oh,
someone Shout Factories actually caught me that like that before on one of my old streams about a year ago. But it was weird. It was Moonbase Alpha, and it was like a tiny little fragment of the movie that had no audio to it, and it was being shown in the format of somebody else's window. Kind of like how B Token does his thing with where they'll show like a little tiny box that he puts the videos in, kind of thing.
uh,
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I called it Hey Mary. There we go. Turn that off. Oh no. Yeah, yeah. Turn Hey Mary off, and then where was it? Landmaster. Turn that off. There we go. That looks much
yeah.
better.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what? It may also have been the gift because on the back door, you were when you played James's videos, it was kind of echoey, so that may have been it.
It could have
I
been.
didn't want to say anything.
Oh, it's all right. It's all right. Hey, welcome back. Part two of skewering James's newest video, and we're about halfway through it. And to recap, he has gone after Maureen for her voice. He has gone after me for wanting to better myself and run for Congress when I was working at an inconvenience store during the 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. overnight
Yeah.
shift.
No, and
God
that is a dangerous shift.
God forbid, James, that a person should want to better himself from his situation like that. I don't know, James. And we've also learned that he's still narcissistic.
Mhm.
He still wants to go after, and there's a little bit of an echo, but that's okay. Uh, so yeah, we're gonna go back to his community tab.
Mhm.
Take a look. The only ones who have traumatized her. Oh, and we also part one we learned that you're going after uh, Angela's symposium now, and we're going to stop you from that, James. So
Yeah.
I promise, because Angela's symposium is going to watch these videos, James,
Yeah.
and
I
she.
wonder,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I wonder what are the odds that she actually knows he exists.
By now, 1 in 3. I'd say, yeah, she's done a Google search. Oh, look, he's trying to play on Eliana's sympathy again. Kitten sleeps sweetly with the chicken. You know what the symbolism of this is, James? Symbolism is you're the kitten and Eliana is the chicken. And ordinarily, a cat, which would claw and mangle the shit out of a chicken, kitten doesn't know not to kill the little tiny little chick for food yet. So of course the chicken and the kitten are just sleeping happily together. That's the symbolism you were trying to send with this. You're trying to send the symbolism that you're a predator, you're the wolf, but it's okay for Little Red Riding Hood to be with you. And, hey, you're not even making any pretenses anymore about, trying to dress up in drag and pretending that you're Eliana's grandmother. You're not making any pretenses at that point. Uh, Angela's symposium. Get to know me. Yeah, James, quit get quit getting to know Angela's symposium. Okay, that's not that's not going to work out for you the way that you think, buddy. Okay, alpha lipoic ALA must be used correctly. I don't think you're using it correctly, James. NAC and glutathione. I don't know who this Dr. Brad is, but ugh. I don't know if you should be trusting him. Bean curd soup with nuri? James, why would you show a picture of that? That looks like vomit. That looks like somebody's vomit, James. That's nasty. Interesting insight into tomahawk usage in combat. Oh, are you going to come at us like Tonka Saw with your tomahawk, James? Because AP's got a Tomahawk missile. Damn straight, James Robert Clark said. Donna's Paul. Okay, so that's about the breaking point. Yeah, because 23 hours ago, YouTube increasing the unskippable ads so people avail premium. Yeah, that's your update of your community tab. And we were going back into the trolls took a tiny Christmas break from harassing me. Well, we only took a tiny Christmas break because you had run out of Wi-Fi until you started posting your videos at the Burger King. I wonder.
He didn't do videos.
Well, I mean, he's making his videos in his apartment, but he's got to walk down to like someplace to use a Wi-Fi. So,
yeah.
Idiots. What's actually kind of humorous, I compared myself to Anakin Skywalker, not because I believe I'm
Did you hear that, Maureen?
I need a drink.
I think I need a drink too, and I don't drink alcohol.
I'm staring.
James, did you?
I'm staring at my wine collection. Which one do I want to open?
Which one do you need to save in case of zombie apocalypse? Put it that way.
The tequila.
Okay, so yeah, all right, so not that. All right, so.
All right. I really do have a small bottle of tequila. I've been saving for special.
Yeah, this is not that special, not just yet.
No.
The day that he's arrested in the Buenos Aires airport, then I'll drink the tequila with you.
Yeah. Yep. I've got some sparkling apple cider that I just picked up. Everything else is from my favorite winery that I don't think is in business anymore. So we'll do the apple cider.
There's one winery that I think is like impossible to get, and it's Sam Neill, the same Sam Neill from the Jurassic Park movies. Have you heard of Two Paddocks?
No.
He's got his own winery in central Otago, New Zealand. Right close to where they filmed Lord of the Rings movies. You didn't know that, did you?
I did not.
Yeah.
Sam Waterston has his own little sheep farm up near Kent or New Milford, Connecticut, and he gets yarn. He gets the fleece from the sheep spun and turned into yarn, and he sells it at the local craft stores.
Sam Waterston from Law and Order, the Jack McCoys.
Yep.
That is cool as shit. I would love to buy a sweater from him if that's the case.
He's actually very nice.
I bet he is. I bet. You know what? I've concluded a long time ago, Jack McCoy is the television dad you didn't realize you had.
Yep. And Chris Maloney of Law and Order SVU also lives in the same area, and from what I've heard, also very nice.
Oh, he's a hell of a comedic actor. You remember him from Harold and Kumar?
I've never watched any Harold and Kumar movies.
What? I mean, I'm the stereotypical pot nerd from like what was it? 2003? What was it?
No.
When did that movie come out? That's like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
That movie is 20 years old. That is awesome. That is awesome and sad at the same time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
2003, I was in college, James, bettering myself.
Yeah, James. Well, James, I was taking care of my dad because he was senile dementia. He was paralyzed on his left side, and by that time, he had lost all of his mobility. So I'm basically helping him from a recliner that he sleeps in to, into an office chair and to the toilet, and then back again to the table, and then back to his recliner at night. And that's kind of got to be a, when you're a caregiver for somebody like that, that really gets to you, and it's And it was only after he had passed away that I had found out that he had screwed me over on the home equity line of credit, and I'm like, $70,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was just
probably can't blame him 100% though.
Well, they brought the paperwork to the house. Well, to what they thought was his house. They brought the paperwork to the house, and that's illegal right there. You're supposed to come to the
Yeah.
branch to sign the paperwork like that,
Yeah.
because they have to have somebody like notarize it and shit.
Yeah.
It was it was just questionable as fuck. And then when my lawyer, it was used to be my dad's lawyer, and then after my dad passed away, it became my lawyer. When we're fighting all of these collection agencies that the bank is sending to try to collect on the 70,000 plus, the only paperwork that they sent was like some weird documentation that was in like Chinese. And
Ew.
the way we figured it is my dad's home equity line of credit was sold off to China as part of like the $700 billion get rid of America's toxic debt, please, so that we can continue to function at that time. The 2000, yeah. So that was the only paperwork I found out about it, like after he died. So it's okay. That was what made me want to take down the banking laws more than anything, because if you take down a bank building, they're still going to obey by the bank laws. So yeah,
It's not gonna.
it's not going to change anything. You got to change the laws if you want to change the banks. So
Yep.
James is envious of the fact that I tried to run for Congress. James is envious of the fact that Maureen is with Royce and is in a stable, healthy relationship.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
No? Oh.
His wife's name is Marie.
Oh. Okay. Well, anyway. But James.
I am happily attached, but it's not to Roy.
Oh, okay. Derp. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm sorry. I was. I apologize.
Don't worry about it. Like every time JJ says Marie when he's talking about,
hey, maybe that was the kind of the narrative that James was going by, was because you do have a wrench in the day wave, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a wrench in almost all of them. The only two I don't is because they're on late at night and I'm usually passed out 20 minutes in.
Yeah, but
so I've never like the host and I have agreed like it's pointless for me to have a wrench for 20 minutes of work.
Yeah.
When I'm tired and probably not paying attention for those 20 minutes anyway.
Oh yeah. Hold on. Black Hydra Gaming wants to come into the Discord. Oh, hey ASDSS, how are you doing tonight?
I saw him in there. He was muted. Hi.
Yeah, I see him too.
Yeah, he's muted for a reason. He'll come back in.
Yeah, here, let's go ahead.
Evening, guys.
Move to on the air. Hey, Black Hydra, welcome. You're on the air live. How are you doing tonight? It'll really help if you have a headset, because we're getting a lot of echo to you.
I know, it's a pain in the arse. Sorry about that.
I know. Go ahead.
I just wanted to come in, say hi to everyone, see how everyone's doing. Been a long time since I showed in.
Yeah, the last time, well, mind you, the last time the Black Hydra showed up, my channel had an old, boring as hell format to it that really appealed to only Black Hydra and me and maybe one or two other stream war watchers. But hey, at least I tried, right, Black Hydra?
Oh, yeah, that's what my girlfriend always said. Yes, honey, I know you're trying. You're very trying.
So, what do you think of our new format where we're taking out James Robert Clark III?
Well, I mean, there's a lot bigger people to take out, but I mean, I don't see no problem with it.
Have you seen?
Got a good thing going.
Have you seen any of James's videos, to kind of get backstory on your opinion of him?
Honestly, no, I have not, but I'll check back on that.
Yeah, you really need to start watching his channel, because he for 7 years he has gone after this woman in Argentina named Eliana, and we're putting a stop to it finally because he's only come on everybody's radars as of 3 months ago when Eliana came out of hiding to say on Daywave Radio, "Hey, James is harassing me." And you know what we all said? It's like, "Hey, Eliana, we're gonna end this for you. We're gonna make James, bring it to an end." So that's kind of what the new format of this channel is. I felt so boring. I felt so limited just doing Star Trek Online because I wanted to do other things, and now I am. And now it's inspiring me to do those other things, and I love this. So I tell you what, Black Hydra, I'm going to go back into the video, and ASDSS, if you have anything to add, just let me know, and I'll throw a pause on this. But James is really seething, and he is just full of envy at other people who just want to try to better their situation. So let's hear some more from you, James.
Anakin Skywalker, for God's sakes. That's her thing, That's my friend's thing. She likes Star Wars quite a bit. I'm not really that into Star Wars. Okay, I can be for her.
No, James. No, James. What you're doing is you're trying to find what. Okay, yeah, Hydra, you definitely got to get a headset for this now, because we got to do something about that echo coming back. So, but James, what you're doing the same thing that we've called you out before. You're playing whatever cards you have left in your skip bow deck, and you can't play your religion cards anymore. You can't play your Satanism cards. You can't play your Aryan cards. You can't play any of your other cards, and you're half playing a Star Wars card now, James. You're saying, "Well, I'm not a fan of Star Wars, but I could be." You're trying to appeal to whatever you think you have left, James, and that's not going to work. Black Hydra, what would you say is the creepiest thing about that? That he's trying to find things to bond with Eliana with now at this point.
Well, to be honest, I mean, at least he's trying to find something to bond with her over. You know, there's, there's a lot of things that could be said about that that's wrong, but at the same time, at least he's trying to. But at the same time, yes, you are on the right path. Yes, he should be himself and find his own path rather than trying to pick on to someone else's
Yeah,
hobbies.
he's wasted 7 years trying to pursue something that'll never happen. James, I would not waste 7 minutes of my life trying to, build a rocket so that I could travel to the moon. Okay? There's no point in that. I know that I'm never going to travel to the moon. I'm why am I gonna make videos, every day in portrait mode saying, "Hey, Elon Musk, hey there, Elon, I want a ticket so that I can go to the moon, please. Please send me a ticket so that I can go to the moon. Hey there, Jeff Bezos, I want a ticket to go to the moon, please. Send me a ticket so I can go to the moon." It's like $200,000 minimum, James, and I wouldn't even want to. That's a hell of a lot of money to go on what's basically a fancy, carnival ride from the state fair. Ride the fantastic, sometimes explodey rocket. Uh, I don't know. Do you
And
think?
of course, boom goes dynamite.
Yeah, boom goes the dynamite. Yeah. But James, there's always a 1 in 6 chance whenever they go up in a rocket that something might happen, James, and they understand that. And I'll take that risk too, James. If you're in love with Eliana so much, I'm in love with going to the moon so much. And you and I are that rocket that's going to take me there. You know that, James? Buddy?
Her, I would do that for her, but that's not really my thing. But even though my friend is, very much into Star Wars, unlike Randolph Vance, I think she still recognizes that both Anakin Skywalker and Padme Amidala, I think I said that properly, I don't speak Hindustani.
Did you did he just did Marine
James,
did he
James, just like the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
yeah.
If you haven't read or seen the source material, you shouldn't be talking about it because
Yeah.
you don't know what you're talking about.
Wait, are we wait. Oh shit. I am a fucking moron. I forgot to have it on the VLC. You know what? We're gonna back this shit up, James. I'm gonna back this shit up to 4. There we go. There's that goofy ass fucking grin of yours. Look at. Remember, this is right when he's making fun of me for trying to better myself. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
I didn't even notice because I was watching on the phone. I'm sorry, chat.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine.
All right, guys. I'm gonna pause this for a minute.
Okay.
James, can I talk to you for a minute?
Sure. That's the point of this, is that every now and then, if somebody needs me to hit the pause button, that's what I'm here for. I will pause and let you have your say at them. So go ahead.
Well, James, what drives you? What do you like?
All he's liked for 7 years is the thought of him being with Eliana, but he doesn't understand how to be a normal person. He introduced himself 7 years ago to Eliana just by saying, "Oh, I'm suicidal. Please help me." And then 2 weeks into her trying to actually help him because she thought that he might be suicidal, 2 weeks in, he starts sending her photos of like Polynesian women saying, "Oh, this is what I'd like to see you dressed in," kind of thing. And she knew right away that he wasn't suicidal. And when he started trying to replay that suicidal, "Well, I thought you cared about me. You don't want me to kill myself, do you?" And she's like, "Well, kill yourself, kill yourself, kill yourself." Because she's playing that basically like, you really want to do this? Then you know what? Do it. We're tired of this. You're crying wolf, cry wolf. Cry wolf and see what we care about that. That's the thing.
She pretty much told him 7 years ago, I want nothing to do with you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't reciprocate your feelings. Leave me alone. And he has consistently stalked her on social media, has followed her from one platform to another, including LinkedIn and Goodreads, just to try and really force her to be with him.
Multiple sock accounts.
That's his backstory in a nutshell.
Multiple sock accounts. Yeah.
Yep.
And
pretending to be family members, claiming her family was trolling him.
Mm-hmm.
He was pretty much talking to himself for 7 years because she would block him as soon as she realized who it was, would never acknowledge him, never talk to him. And from intel from Eliana and other missions, he is classic domestic abuser, stalker, serial predator.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason women haven't disappeared in Philadelphia where he lives at his hands is because he does not have the means, the finances to do it. And I'm fully convinced, based on his words and his actions, he is a danger to women at large.
He's put off some really, really creepy vibes. He's said that his ideal women are between 18 and 21 years of age. 18 to 21.
He's 38.
He's 38, and 18 to 21 is still his range.
Well, at least he's going with the legal ones, of legal age, but still, agreed.
Creepy.
Yeah,
Just he's so dead set at 18 to 21.
like
And
he's gonna ask for their ID card. Like James, do you have a Budweiser Bible handy? Maureen, do you know what I'm talking about by a Budweiser Bible?
No.
Okay. When I worked at the inconvenience store, the Anheuser-Busch Guide to ID cards. It's basically kind of a magazine-like pamphlet that they'll put out every year or so, and they put out what each ID looks like on the front and on the back, what to look for. They put out they show what previous year's versions looks like and that kind of thing. They even show like Canada's version ID cards. They'll show tribal reservation cards. Yeah, Anheuser-Busch will sell these things for like $3 each. Yeah, we call it the Budweiser Bible. Whosoever's name was not written in the or whosoever's ID was not written in the Budweiser Bible ain't getting beer.
That's handy.
Yeah. Well, you know what? The Budweiser Bible is just really there as just kind of like in case you see other IDs that you're not familiar with. Because 99% of the time, we would actually take the ID and scan the back of it. Because the laser scanner would actually read the back of the ID and it would auto card you for that. So that way we wouldn't even have to look at the numbers. However, you do have to verify that it is not an expired ID for alcohol sales, and a store can actually refuse the sale of alcohol if you are in possession of an expired ID. Because if your ID is expired, it's not considered valid, and you may not be considered a valid legal driver. So the store has to refuse the sale because they could get into a shit ton of trouble if they sold alcohol to a person that was on an expired ID. So pissed off a lot of people when we do that, and I held my guns to that. So, we got some. Hi, Maureen.
You gotta protect yourself, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, James, let's hear you go. Blah blah blah. Me.
I can't speak
Anyway,
properly.
better
I
now.
can't hear it. I can't speak right. And then you got what's his Randolph Vance. Hello, I'm Randolph Vance. I'm a beta politician. Look at my beautiful face. I look special. I look like the kid from Mask. Oh, Cher played my mom in the movies. Come.
I love his casting because you know what? I that is actually a pretty good casting for that. I would love to have Cher playing my mom in a movie about my life. Well, it'd be more about my mom's life than anything, but Hey, James, thank you for that. I will pass that on to my agent.
Come on. You're a bunch of dorks. You're not even smart enough to be nerds. And then the other thing is, look, let me get this straight. And I apologize, honey, for raising my voice if you're watching this. I
Oh, it's okay, honey. I forgive you, James.
was making fun of these idiots. What's actually kind of humorous, I compared myself to Anakin Skywalker, not because I believe I'm Anakin Skywalker, for God's sakes. That's her thing, That's my friend's thing. She likes Star Wars quite a bit. I'm not really that into Star Wars, okay? I can be for her. I would do that for her, but that's not really my thing. But even though my friend is, very much into Star Wars, unlike Randolph Vance, I think she still recognizes that both Anakin Skywalker and Padme Amidala, I think I said that properly, I don't speak Hindustani, but I think that even my friend recognizes that both Anakin Skywalker and Padme Amidala are both fictional characters created in a series of books that were later turned into movies.
Actually, it was written on an 8.5 by 14-inch legal pad that George Lucas uses, James. He basically wrote out Attack of the Clones and Phantom Menace in a couple of days, James. And the writing is so George Lucasy, for lack of a better word, that he they're movies that make sense to him
Okay,
most of all. Yeah. Oh, Black Hydra, you got some opinion about Lucas?
yeah, I'm just gonna throw in my 2 cents. Dude, if James, if this is all true, what I'm hearing from everyone, dude, you sound like a simp. You sound like you should just be by yourself. Get your shit together.
Well,
Find out what.
that's actually his problem. He's been by himself. But go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, get your shit together. Find out what you truly want. Make yourself happy. Don't even worry about what anyone else wants, what anyone else feels, what anyone else thinks. Think about yourself first.
Mm-hmm.
Get a good job. Work out at a gym. Do something to make yourself happy before you even try to drag someone else into your shit. Because back in the day, I was depressed. I had nothing. I tried to drag people into my shit, and it didn't go right. And I've been alone for years. Trust me. And yes, it's not fun. Yes, I want someone in my life, but at the same time, I'm gonna work on myself first before I'm dragging anyone else into my problems.
Yeah.
Yes, if I'm suicidal, I'll talk to my friends, and yes, I think about it. Who does it? But at the same time, I don't have the guts to go through with it. Do you have the guts to kill yourself, James?
No.
Do you have the guts to face what is coming on the other side when you do?
Like I've said to him, suicides don't go to heaven. Because if he wants to adhere to Eliana's Catholic culture and be in love with Eliana, he should respect the Catholic tradition that suicides do not go to heaven because they have rejected the gift that God gave them. So he's so flip floppy about religion because he considers it the invisible man in the sky or the invisible man who lives underground who grants the wishes, and he doesn't understand that neither God nor Satan will grant him his wish. And we've come to a conclusion before on our show that when James Robert Clark dies, he's going to go to a weird kind of afterlifey place. It's going to have like clouds. It'll have like blue skies. You'll think it's heaven at first, but there's like this weird kind of triangular kind of like gelatinous blob that's just, sitting up there on the clouds, and it's got these weird cross eyes and this goofy like grin. It looks like something from Rick and Morty, and it's called Mr. Mlorp. Mr. Mlorp, Mlorp. And Mr. Mlorp is, like, I think I'll just develop this into like a Rick and Morty episode where, Rick, if we're dead, how come we're not in heaven or in hell? Morty, you know those t-shirts they sell at the mall that say, heaven doesn't want me and hell's afraid I'm going to take over? Yeah, Rick? Yeah, they use those t-shirts like a non-fungible token, Morty. They use them to track you, so they send you to Mr. Mlorp. Well,
Actually, if you want to get the lore correct, Mr. Malord is from Gravity Falls, and
well,
the
Mr.
creators of Rick and Morty and Gravity Falls are.
So Mr. Malord. So just kind of bend the letter around, and it's Mr. Mlorp, Mlorp. But it's the idea that Mr. Mlorp is just, you go to Mr. Mlorp land, if you're flip floppy about your religion. If if God and Satan are like, nah, no, neither one of us want you. You're going to Mlorp, kind of thing. So, I guess you could call it. I guess you could call it purgatory, but purgatory has an escape in Catholicism, and there would be no escape
Yep.
from Mr. Malorp. So
Well, and on the second part of that, God is not a genie.
No.
He will not grant wishes.
no, he isn't. James, he is not a genie. Neither is the devil.
It even well, the devil will grant your wish, but only if he will get something of value. And I mean, shoot, from what I hear, it doesn't sound like you're a very valuable candidate for him to make a deal with you at all.
Oh, on the other hand, Mary. Now, the finger of Satan actually came down and touched on her hard drive and burned away the evidence. That's a different story in of itself. That's a different LolCow on our ranch tonight. But here, let's go back to James.
I do not believe that she actually thinks they're real enough to say that I'm, quote, batshit as insane as Anakin Skywalker.
Well, you know what, James? Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. Watch the Plinkett review of that, buddy. Plinkett nails it. Plinkett may be a fictional character, but his review nails Attack of the Clones just as it nailed the Phantom Menace as, semi-cynical cash grabs. I mean, they did kind of continue the franchise, but they're semi-cynical cash grabs, James.
Yeah, the facts are the facts, and Anakin Skywalker is an imaginary person.
But it's all
Okay.
about the. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, here's a question, James. Why do you keep referring back to Star Wars? Just let it go. Talk about yourself. Fuck Star Wars. This ain't Star Wars. This is real life.
Yeah.
Well, he's fantasizing.
He doesn't matter. He doesn't matter in this conversation. He's a fictional character, that has no relevance to this.
He's well.
Talk
It
about
does.
yourself.
It does, though, for him, because he's been fantasizing and fixating on Queen Amidala, and he thinks that she is his Queen Amidala.
And we're denying him that now. We're taking it away from him.
Just like he thinks, he wants to see her dressed like Salma Hayek in From Dusk Till Dawn because, she's Spanish and, that's what Spanish Incan princesses wear and shit. So, but
yeah.
What's interesting about James is that, again, consistently and consistent, he's been saying for months, I'm coming to Argentina. It has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with you. And as it's getting closer and closer, we're getting down to like the 2-month mark of March. Then it's, I can't wait to see you and bring you gifts. But if you don't see me, I'll just give the gifts to charity. And now it's become a more fixated fantasy of we're going to be standing on a hill in front of an obelisk and forgetting about all these trials and tribulations. And then once we see each other, it'll all be worth it. And we'll forget all this craziness, all this baloney. And we're going to live happily ever after. I mean, he's going so back deep into the fixation of it all that, I mean, he's really working himself up and trying to hype himself up, believing that this is going to end, so well for him. And he honestly could not be further from the truth. And I don't think he's going to ever take any of our words for it, but, I'll be interested to see his response to Ileana when she comes out of the woodwork again, because she's certainly going to come out of the woodwork before March. So
yeah. Oh yeah.
She's definitely coming out of the woodwork before March. I know that for an absolute fact.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's messaged me and told me so.
She seems like such a sweet woman.
She is.
She is.
Yeah.
She's such a sweet, non-autistic woman.
Oh, James.
I guess what he doesn't understand is life is trials and tribulations. No matter who you meet, you're still gonna face trials and tribulations within your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have peaks and sometimes you have valleys in your life. And I'm willing to admit when I've had my valleys, and those are the times that try you. but those are the times that also forge you and make you a better and stronger person, because you're willing to say, you know what, I've made mistakes in the past. I've been a jerk to other people. Even recently, I've been a jerk to other people. It's back as far back as a few years ago. I've been a huge jerk to some pretty big people, James.
What I do feel bad for is that what people that are trying to reach out to, warn other women that he might be posting about or, starting to maybe take interest in, is that the minute you start doing that, then he's got that built-in excuse he's had for Ileana, which is, they only don't like me, or you don't like me because these trolls are doing everything they can, for you not to like me. So then that just grows the fixation that it's not his fault if the conversation doesn't work out. So what it really is doing is it's counterproductive than what everyone's trying to do, which is warn these women. It's actually making it worse, because then he's going to reach out to these women aggressively to prove that, it's all bullshit. And then, because he's going to try desperately to say, don't listen to these people. And then what's going to happen is these poor unsuspecting women are going to get drawn into this email bombing and comment bombing and everything else when they have no idea what the hell's going on.
Same thing.
So,
the same thing. The same thing to an extent with Mary.
Right. So all the people trying to save these women is actually putting them in more stress, because then they have to deal with the bullshit that he's doing now.
Yeah.
Which is defending himself to women that probably don't have no interest in him anyway.
Right. He's going to make probably a video directly to Angela's Symposium. Hey there, Angela's Symposium. So I want you to understand that I'm not a creepy troll like Randolph Vance says I am.
Well, he just posted about 3 hours. He already posted about that. He did that. He just made a new video about 3 hours ago.
Yeah.
About, this is what we're doing. It's everyone else's fault now, because we're just cock blocking all over the internet now. So he's just going to harass any person that he talks to. Everybody's like running into their comments, which I totally understand that they're just trying to help and warn people, but you got to let people blow them off organically too. I mean, otherwise, it's counterproductive. It really is. He's just going to make their lives a living hell to defend himself against everyone that's trying to, protect people. I get it. I mean, Angela's over there conjuring the devil. I don't think she needs our help.
She's conjuring the devil, but she's like, why is this person wearing a hat? And he's introducing himself.
Nancy Pelosi.
No. I'm referring to Hat Man. And Hat Man comes up and says, hello, Angela's Symposium. I am the Hat Man. Good to meet you. And then she realizes who she's summoned. So,
And if somebody could just be a real peach and drop me all the 400 pages of Mary documents, that would be wonderful, because I would love to read that.
Maureen,
Georgie has them.
Yeah,
CNAP has them.
Yeah, I was going to say, you have definitely earned a spot in the F people discords for helping take down JRC III like you have ASDSS. So
you're one of us.
Yeah, you're definitely one of us.
Thanks. I heard AP on Daywave. I've been checking out Daywave just to see if Ileana shows back up.
Oh, and not only did we hear from AP, we saw from AP too.
We did.
We saw his face reveal without the little red dots for the cartoon.
Yeah. We got to see him in the glorious third dimension.
I did have to laugh when he said, the reason I'm here in real life is because I want you to see the face of the person that's taking you down. I was like, wow. But
Oh,
one of the
basically,
things,
he's using it. He's using it for the opening title cards for Mayo 4, so he can show Mary, "This is what I look like, Mary."
yeah.
Eh,
Oh,
and
he
more.
was. What's weird about the document that what was weird about the document that he had is so with the principal, what he was talking about is like, yes, the person was indicating that they were taking the responsibility as the primary person that was responsible for the whole crime, right?
Right.
Yep.
Um, regardless of anybody else. But the issue is what's weird. The reason why I see the documents is I'm still surprised, and what I'm guessing is he's kind of right. So she could have still been charged with accessory before or after the fact, or both,
Mm-hmm.
or she could have been charged as a co-conspirator, right?
Yep.
Even if he's the principal, you can charge him as a co-conspirator and accessory, right? So, but what's interesting is I think that there was enough he said she said that they put him as the principal. They decided not to charge Mary because they did not want any reasonable doubt as to
Yep.
who was responsible for the murder. And I think they were worried about a lesser charge, or they were worried about them kind of Solomon splitting the baby on the charges and then reducing it because they didn't want to put a capital murder charge on this guy if they couldn't prove it wholeheartedly. So AP was kind of right. They could have charged Mary for accessory after the fact. They could have probably charged her for accessory before the fact because of the fight. And it would come down to he said, she said on what that fight was about before he strangled that woman.
Here, I've
So,
actually got it up on the Googles. So I got it up on my Google Chrome. State of Florida versus Kenneth Ray McBride. So whenever we're searching, and Black Hydra, I don't know if you were aware of this, but we found out a couple of streams ago that there are 5 people in the world, all with identical spellings of Kenneth McBride. All 5 of them are convicted murderers.
but only one of them is a pedophile too.
Only one of them's a pedophile, but only one other one decapitated his grandma. So they have some uniqueness to them. But
They do.
this is there's the case number.
That's for the cold, calculated, and premeditated
Yeah.
motion.
Okay, so defendant Kenneth McBride, having pled guilty to the first-degree murder of Roberta Laws, would argue that the state has failed to present compelling evidence that would prove beyond a reasonable doubt that this murder was committed in a cold, calculated, and premeditated manner, or that it was done for the purpose of pecuniary gain. The defense would argue as follows as to each issue: cold, calculated, and premeditated. Number 1. Mr. McBride found himself in the position of being involved in a love triangle, if you will. He had a partner with whom he had lived with for the better part of 10 years, and he had a new woman in his life. The victim in his case relied heavily on Mr. McBride due to her infirmities, and after 10 years in this situation, he sought companionship outside of this relationship. Number 2, based on the state's own admissions, Mary Barone had a significant number of mental health issues, and as evidenced by the numerous emails presented during her testimony, Miss Barone began pushing Mr. McBride to get rid of Miss Laws. Miss Barone was desperate for a place to live, since by her own admissions, she did not get along with her grandmother, and that was her only alternative. She admitted pressuring Mr. McBride to let her move into the residence even while Miss Laws was living there. This was done under the guise that she would help care for Miss Laws' needs.
Now,
go ahead.
this was brought up in Virgie's stream earlier. According to Mary, it was Ken who pressured her to move. It was Roberta's idea to have her move in as the caregiver. She wanted nothing to do with it. She wanted out of that relationship. So another lie of Mary's.
Mary, the lie detector test determined that was a lie.
Florida, Xander.
Yep.
This happened in Middleburg, right outside of Jacksonville.
Yeah. Number 3, on the day of the homicide, Mr. McBride and Miss Barone were returning from a weekend away and got into yet another heated argument about their living arrangements. Why does that not surprise me? They got home after being away from the weekend, and immediately Mary just starts turning on Kenneth, and it's and Kenneth is getting worn down.
Sounds normal.
Yeah, sounds normal. Yeah. Miss Barone repeatedly threatened to end the relationship with Mr. McBride if he didn't get rid of Miss Laws. Based on the testimony of both Miss Barone and Mr. McBride, they returned to the residence and Mr. McBride went inside, leaving Miss Barone in the truck. A short time later, Mr. McBride returned to the vehicle and told Miss Barone he had done it. Let's see. And there we go. Number 4.
Well, already it sounds like a toxic relationship.
It was toxic back then, and it just turned from toxic to, open festering sewer. So
I think the difficulty in the case probably would have been is that they don't specify specifically about what getting rid of means. I mean, it was Ken's house. It was Ken's house.
Yeah.
If it was her house, then murdering her would have been the only way to get rid of her in that sense. Because it was her property. But with this and it being Ken's house, if the only comment she kept saying was to get rid of her, that could mean a million things. They could have been saying, you need to dump her, you need to throw her out, you need to, tell her to, hit the bricks. She might not have said, I want you to kill her. And I think that that's also the reason they probably didn't press the charges, because she could always say, if they didn't have any proof,
I never meant.
I want you to kill her.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was what he was going to do. And I think that also probably helped why they decided not to prosecute her. But that doesn't mean that she's innocent. I mean, that doesn't mean that what you did wasn't a bad thing. It means that you got away. You got one. Everybody gets one, according to Spider-Man, right? So,
yeah,
you got one. You won't get a second, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody gets one, and just because you didn't get incarcerated over it doesn't mean that anything you did was right. I mean, and concealing the body, everything after that is he said, she said.
Yep. I think that's why they were looking at their emails, what was on her hard drive, because I think what was on her computer, she spelled out what she wanted done, because Mary is not the brightest bulb on the tree.
No.
Well, if you have the chance to nail, a sex offender who sexually assaulted an 8-year-old girl, who also then murdered a disabled woman with cerebral palsy, or in her wheelchair, which was probably an ungodly, horrendous crime.
Yep.
I think that they thought, regardless of this woman, we'll get her treatment. She's ill, and we're just gonna take everything we can after this guy. We're just gonna throw the book at this guy because he really was the person. It doesn't make Mary an angel, by far from it.
And
she's probably going to hell for what she's done. At the same time,
I don't think she has a lot of religious beliefs, but I think the reason, despite she's cried wolf about the Minecrafting a lot. I think the only reason she has not done that is because she knows what awaits her on the other side. Whether it's hell, whether it's eternal torment from Roberta, she does not want to know what's waiting for her on the other side, because she is not remorseful at all.
Well, they ultimately tend to argue that hell is the worst manifestation of the worst time of your life on repeat for eternity. Mm-hmm. And I don't know which situation would be worse for her to go through, but I can only imagine that it would just be strapped to a chair on loop, watching the best cuts of Adonis Paul for the rest. That is probably her.
She turns into a 2-dimensional version of Mary. She becomes the Mary from Mary's Punch.
Yes.
And she's living in Las Tejas for the rest of her life.
And it's the 2-dimensional version of Roberta that's tormenting her through the afterlife, going, Mary, Mary, why did you kill me, Mary?
There was one there. I'm not gonna lie. There was one comment on one of her more recent videos. I was like, there's telling Mary how you feel, and then like kind of disrespecting the dead, and like someone created a handle as Roberta's ghost with her picture,
Yeah, I saw that.
and I was like, I get it.
How do we
but
know? How do we know that isn't Roberta's ghost? Huh? We gotta leave that. We gotta leave that little shred of possibility. You understand?
Somebody's been watching the Lawnmower Man. But like that one, I was kind of like, I would, I don't know if Roberta had any family anywhere, but I was like, oh man, it's like hard to swallow. That's that one's a little. There is a bridge too far sometimes. I don't know how that one's kind of, defending her in the name of the woman of the victim, absolutely. Portraying the victim and then taunting her. I'm like, yeah, it depends on who's looking at that. I always think about the people that are left, and I don't know who's left, and if they could end up seeing that.
Yeah.
I don't know how, that one's I mean, I saw it and it was definitely shocking, and I was like, wow, that is brutal. But at the same time, I was like, oh man, I feel really bad if she has family and they ever come across this, because this is going to open up a whole lot of shit.
Yeah. Anyway,
I'm gonna have
go
the
ahead.
naive hot take that laptop didn't burn up. I think they found what they were looking for, and they didn't like what they found, and all of a sudden, oh no, it burst into flames. Here's some money for you, because I think what was on those hard drives and on her server proved that she was a mastermind. Who knows? Maybe Ken didn't actually pull the ligature. I don't know. But the DA wanted him and only him, and they had to cut Mary loose.
That was a tough call, and it cost a judge his career at the end of that, because they sentenced that Kenneth McBride to life imprisonment instead of getting him the death penalty. But yeah. Anyway,
well, there's also
go ahead.
There's also the tough part of, if say you're talking to a friend, or you're talking to somebody that and they're telling you a story about somebody, and you're like, I would fucking kill that person, or I'd beat their motherfucking ass, I'd be whooping their fucking ass, you should get rid of them. And then there's the difference of, here's how we're gonna get rid of them,
right?
And then you start really planning, and then that's the tough part, because she can egg them on all day.
Yeah,
she could be like, you need to kill that girl, you need to kill that bitch. But if she's not saying, and here's how I want you to do it, and here's what we're going to conspire, and I'm going to go in there, and I'm going to change her, and I'm going to put this in her milk at night so that she's sedated, and you're going to come in and do whatever. It's also kind of how he did it. He's like, you want her gone? Fine, fuck you, bitch. And then he got out of the truck, went in the house, strangled her, came back out, and said, it's done. Yeah. And that's the thing.
That's probably what began.
Difficult.
That's what began the internal trauma inside, when indifferent Adrasdea suddenly became traumatized and also indifferent in Adrasdea. She was indifferent. Just she didn't understand the value of life. She didn't understand the value of Roberta Law's life. And she was just indifferent to the whole thing. But then when she realized that Kenneth did this, and she realized that, holy shit, I was the one saying, you should get rid of her, you should get rid of her, you should get rid of her, over and over and over and over again. I need to get one of those soundboards. Like, those things look sweet. Yeah, those things look sweet, don't they? So...
Did she selfishly want to be the only one? Yes. Did she want this woman out so she could be the head of the household and run shit and like be the queen of the castle? Yes. Did she want that woman gone? Yes.
Did she want
Was
Roberta
that woman
dead?
really? Was it?
Not necessarily.
We don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah,
We don't
that's
know.
But that doesn't mean that she's innocent.
yeah.
It doesn't mean she's a good person. It doesn't mean that any of that. It just means that from the legal sense, I could see why they'd want to nail that guy to the cross and take him out and just look at her and be like, you know what? You'll get yours at some point if you really are the bad person you think you are.
Yeah.
But right now, you are not our priority in the slightest.
They're holding on to something that they have that we don't know about. They're holding on to something that they've kept special just for the day that Adrasdea fucks up on a level that gains national attention again. So,
Well, Mary, I'm going to tell you this because I know you're probably going to watch this. The more you post, the more pissed off you get, the more sauce you get on your videos, and the more books you write, sooner or later, you're going to say something.
She already
That's
has.
yeah.
She's going to
She
say
has
something.
admitted.
She's going to say enough to nail her back to that crime.
Well,
It's a
she
matter of
admitted.
time.
She admitted to being in the house, not in the truck.
Yeah.
And she deleted that video very quickly. I believe it's on the Adrasdea it's either on Adrasdea Revived or Adrasdea Freaked Out Archive channel. But we got it.
And they could send that over to the DA and say, look,
Yeah.
there's this woman that's been posting crazy stuff about this, murder that this person was convicted.
Yeah.
But they might not want to do anything with it because they don't want that guy getting out.
Oh yeah. No,
They don't want a retrial for that guy. They don't want to get any of the headaches or hijinks to that.
Yeah.
But if there's enough publicity about the situation, it's hard to ignore it.
Yeah.
honestly, as much as I honestly think Middleburg should reopen and reinvestigate her, given all of her the fact that she can't keep her fucking mouth shut, realistically, it is never going to happen. They're not going to go back and reinvestigate a legally closed case unless Mary is charged with first-degree murder of somebody else, and that's the only way. That's the only time they'll dig into her past, and even then, it's no guarantee they'll reopen it because Mary's not the brightest bulb on the tree, as we see. They probably wherever she does this alleged crime. I'm not saying she's going to do this. I want to make that clear. I'm just saying hypothetically, in another universe, she's not that bright. They'll have her dead to rights. Why waste taxpayers' money to put her on trial for another first-degree murder case in Florida when they already have her in whatever locality she is in? Hypothetically. Like you look at Ted Bundy. They had Ted Bundy dead to rights on 30 murders. I think he was only tried and convicted of 5 or 6 and executed for the 12-year-old.
Yeah.
And,
so
yeah. And when you look at her, it wouldn't shock me in like 24 months from now, and I go and turn on Netflix and I just see Mary's face. And they're like, oh, there's a Netflix documentary.
Yeah.
I mean, it just wouldn't surprise me if it got to that point because she's everywhere now.
Yeah.
She's everywhere. She's starting to hit Twitter. Once you get there,
Ooh.
She's over.
It's a documentary.
And she's got a page on the forum that should not be named. That's 15 or 17 pages long.
Now I've kept it on this. I've kept it on the screen here, and skipping ahead, while testimony as to the offense differs somewhat, it is evident that they took the steps to conceal the death of Miss Laws. It's not that Kenneth worked to conceal Roberta's body on his own accord. It's that he had Adrasdea helping him. It's like, well now what do we do, Mary? Well, we gotta hide the body somewhere. What are we gonna do? Well, we can bury it in the backyard. We need a shovel. Yeah, and then they have to go to Walmart for the shovel. And that's when Mary is on camera, at the Walmart with Kenneth buying the shovel. She isn't using that opportunity to be in a public place to try to get help for herself, because she could have just, if she was truly scared, she would have gone up to like the security guard or the first counter clerk or
Yeah.
somebody and said, I need help. That man that I'm just walked in with, he just murdered someone, and please call the cops right now. I'm so scared.
She had
She could have turned on the crocodile tears and changed her life story completely then.
The only two things that saved her from an accessory after the fact charge
Mhm.
was that she wasn't the only one on camera buying the shovel, and the police didn't find the woman. That she was the one that reported it, and she took them to the location where the body was. Like, she told them what they did. If she didn't have a change of heart, or self-preservation, or whatever you want to call it, at that time, she would have got the accessory. But the fact that she helped them, regardless of what she did to get there, she helped them nail that dude. And then he was on camera. If she was in there by herself buying the shovel, there was 100% chance she would have got an accessory charge. 100%.
At the
But
time, yeah. At the time,
she
Mr.
was,
McBride entered as guilty. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say
and then
Loki. Oh,
the fact that they didn't have her alone, and he was there, and her story could be like, he was holding me hostage, he was doing A, B, and C, he was threatening me, and he was there with her with the shovel to make sure she could say he was making sure that I didn't tell anybody. He was making sure he's keeping an eye on me. And that's he said, she said, and which one are you going to believe?
Well, if he
And
was,
then
and if he was really restraining her, he would have, tied her hands together and tied her into the truck and kept her in the truck, kept her away from the video cameras.
Well, I mean, in the end, I see why she got away. I see why she didn't get charged. I don't want to say got away with it. I see why she didn't get charged. They wanted that guy so bad, and she just muddied it all up with her mouth. Like, they didn't. They just were like, we don't even want her on the stand. We don't even want her as a witness. Like, we don't even want her anywhere near this. She's unreliable, and that's the kind of thing that everyone talks about, is the lying. They didn't want her anywhere near this, and they probably thought, with her mental health history and with everything else going on, and whatever substances she might have been using at the time, or they probably thought, we can't put her anywhere near this. Like, we want an open and shut case. We want to just nail this guy. We're going to try to do everything we can,
Right.
and I just don't think that they wanted to get to the point of trying to find her culpability in it, because then he might walk.
yeah.
This is
He might
interesting
walk.
because paragraph number 5 here, at the time Mr. McBride entered his guilty plea, he indicated to the court that this was something he had been thinking about for a couple of weeks. So he's seriously holding on to this kind of thought of, do I kill Roberta, and make Mary happy, kind of thing, for at least 2 weeks. Mary had to have been like nagging the shit out of Kenneth for that. And let's see. Examined closely, there is nothing in his testimony that would suggest he was actually planning to kill Miss Laws during that time. So he hadn't even drawn out any kind of sophisticated plan. And like it says, this killing happened after a heated argument with his girlfriend and was unsophisticated at best. Basically, he killed Roberta just to shut Mary the fuck up about it. Just because he got so fucking tired of listening to Mary going on and on and on. You should get rid of Roberta. You should get rid of Roberta. You should get rid of Roberta. And finally, he did.
But back to Loki Larry's point about Kenneth's filing for the motion of principle. Technically, Loki, yeah, you're right. Because he's taking 100% blame, they can't. My understanding of Florida law is, yes, they can't. Prosecution can't now all of a sudden press charges against Mary as not necessarily an accomplice or an accessory, but first-degree murder on her as well. However, though,
depraved indifference,
public outcry, like, hey, yeah, dude belongs in jail, but this woman is just as culpable. There's enough pressure. Like, it's been known to happen. They'll go back. They'll review the case, and they may say, damn it, we have to have a hearing about maybe we should withdraw this motion of principle, see if we can keep Kenny Boy where he is, but charge Mary as well. It's been known to happen. Not saying it will. I doubt it. But look at the West Memphis 3. It's a totally, completely different set of circumstances. But they went up in front of a jury. They had their trial. All three were found guilty. They were all in jail. But with enough public outcry, the prosecution went back and offered them deals, and they're all free right now.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I think the best they got is accessory after the fact. That's it. Yeah. I don't think that they have anything else.
I'm going to skip a little bit ahead. Pecuniary gain aggravator. To establish that the murder was committed for pecuniary gain, the state must prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the murder was motivated, at least in part, for the purpose of financial gain. Williams citing Deparvine. While the state presented evidence that Mr. McBride used the ATM card that belonging to Miss Laws after her death, there was no evidence presented to suggest that financial gain was a motive for the killing. That's interesting. So, let's see. Yeah, and AP highlighted those little tidbits there. So
now, if Mary would have used the card and was on camera and ATM using the card, she would have been roped right in there.
Yeah. Oh, she.
And hot take, and I'm trying to take my biases out of it because I fucking hate Mary and Kent's piece of shit as well. But from everything the defense has presented, if I was on that jury, I don't think I could have voted for a murder 1 conviction. Murder 2 definitely, but not a murder 1.
Yeah.
So
you have to. There is enough reasonable doubt to say that Ken did not do this on his own accord entirely. That someone else.
Not just that.
Yeah.
It wasn't per Florida law. Murder 1 is premeditated. This wasn't premeditated based on what the defense has put forward. This was heat of the moment. Shut the fuck up, Mary. Fine, I'll get rid of her. She's gone.
Yeah.
So.
And it's not necessarily first-degree murder on Mary's part. They would charge Mary with probably depraved indifference homicide. I'm thinking that would be the best thing that I think that they could charge her with is go with the old depraved indifference on that.
Yeah.
So, defendant's proposed jury instructions principles. Defendant, Kenneth McBride, by and through the undersigned attorney, the public defender for the 4th Judicial Circuit of Florida, proposes the following jury instruction be provided. If the defendant helped another person or persons commit a crime, the defendant is a principal and must be treated as if he/she had done all the things the other person or persons did if 1. The defendant had a conscious intent that the criminal act be done, and 2. The defendant did some act or said some word which was intended to and which did incite, cause, encourage, assist, or advise the other person or persons to actually commit the crime. To be a principal, the defendant does not have to be present when the crime is committed. That's exactly it. I mean, Manson was never present for when any of the Manson killings were committed. But they charged him because he was the one out there encouraging, his followers to kill people. So.
Yeah, but if you read number 2 carefully, it's kind of saying, I didn't fucking do it, but I'm gonna take the rap for it.
Yeah. And you know what?
Yeah, for whatever reason, he could potentially have gotten a lighter sentence. I'm not saying getting off completely, but he could have gotten a much lighter sentence. I don't know why he took the rap for it, except it. I mean, I wasn't in 2009. I was dealing with my own personal shit. I never lived in Florida. I had no idea this was going on, so I obviously didn't follow this closely. Almost 13 years ago, or 10 years ago at the trial, but.
Could Mary have blackmailed, or could she have gotten some kind of message through to Kenneth by some kind of secret means and threaten to blackmail him and say, well, I'll expose you for this, and this if you don't plead guilty now. And in his kind of confused mind, he's like, oh shit. So, whether it was true or not, Mary out there blabbing her mouth about how bad Kenneth is just makes Kenneth look more, more worse. So
Possible. Oh, but my point was, it could at the time it could have been so bad. The outcome for him could have looked so bleak that even though there was enough reasonable doubt, the way the prosecution was hammering murder one, death penalty, murder one, death penalty, he probably didn't see a way out except to plead guilty and take the rap.
he might have thought that if he pleads guilty, they would not go after Mary. So he probably chose to plead guilty to give Mary a second chance.
It's very possible that for deep down his twisted, sick soul, he did have some stirrings for her and didn't want to see her in prison. Yeah, I never even thought of that because I'm like, oh, you push me to murder someone, then you're gonna hang me out to dry? Fuck you, bitch! I'm taking you down with me. No honor amongst thieves.
Yeah, I know. No, nobody ever accused Kenneth McBride. That one who killed Roberta Laws, not the four others, mind you, but no one ever accused any of those Kenneth McBrides of being rocket scientists or anything like that. So, go ahead.
Legally speaking, Xander, most states, the heinous doesn't necessarily is part of the legal definition of murder one. It's usually the premeditation. The heinous part comes into more of sentencing. Like, it may have been murder too, but like the other Ken McBride, but hypothetically, because I don't know that case at all, so I'm pulling, this is just an example. It may have been murder too, but he decapitated Granny. Life without parole.
And
based on that state's laws.
And the thinking of that is he might have grown up in a very abusive household, and for him, his grandmother was always could have been beating him with a cane or something like that. And he chose to take a guilty plea because he's in a place now where he can get help for, the traumas that were inflicted upon him.
Yeah.
So, and
so every case is different. Every state, they're similar, but their laws are different. What's murder one in New York may not be what's murder one in Florida, for example. So
it depends. Yeah, it depends on the circumstances of the crime. Yep. And I'm going to get back into Jimmy here before we get into Adrasdea's videos. So
doesn't exist. Just saying. So when you're saying I'm batshit insane, and then you're trying to compare me to a fictional character because you're crazy, yeah, that doesn't make me look crazy, buddy. That don't make me look crazy. Just saying.
You don't need anybody to make you look crazy. You are crazy, Jimmy. I mean,
no one's comparing you to a fictional character, except yourself. So
yeah. And
he does remember what happens to Queen Amidala, right?
Yeah, I mean,
It ain't happy.
James, have you watched any of episodes 1, 2, and 3? Particularly 3, which is basically get Anakin in the Vader suit, James?
Yeah. Well, side note, 3 has a huge continuity error with when Amidala, spoiler alert, dies. But the point is, she dies. They don't live happily ever after when she gets pregnant.
She was the victim of domestic abuse, James.
Yep. She pieced out and hid her children from Darth Vader. And she never saw him again.
That's right.
The end.
Hey,
also,
Vance, I got a thing I want to talk to you about later on.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. Here, let me give Jackadelphia a wrench in my chat here, because...
I haven't seen him much around. Hi, Jackadelphia.
Hey, there you go. Now you're a wrench. Okay, so... Anyway, getting back to Jimmy. Jimmy.
A lot of the slander has just gotten to the point of ridiculousness, and it's insane. But the fact is, you cross the line when you start harassing people that are not even remotely involved in this. You know,
Oh, no, Jimmy, no. None of us have harassed Eliana in the slightest. Okay?
No.
We've kept her off the playing field. We've kept her away from the stadium. Okay? Jimmy.
We-
Yeah. Go ahead.
Reaching out and asking, hey, we found this fucking creep. Is this legit? Do you need help? Is not harassment.
Yeah. Jimmy, we were of the opinion, well, not I, but Daywave was of the opinion that you were being the victim of a catfish, that Eliana didn't exist. And when Eliana saw and heard on Daywave that, someone was trying to reach out and trying to confirm the JRC III story, that was her ticket. That was her golden ticket, James. She took her golden ticket, and now she's got the chocolate factory. And you got nothing, Jimmy. You're Mike TV, Jimmy. You're Mike YouTube, actually.
Angela,
I was catfished. It's not fun.
I've been catfished. It's not fun. I was stranded in Vancouver with, and I had to try to figure out a way home, Jimmy. That's not fun to be catfished. All right? So.
is not involved in this in any way, shape, or form. I promote her channel because I like what she does.
No, Jimmy. Yeah, okay. Is he talking about? Yeah, he's talking about Angela's Symposium, and he's trying to latch onto Angela's Symposium now because he's trying to find any kind of substitute that his warped lizard brain, constant erection mind has towards getting a woman pregnant, towards breeding.
Mm-hmm.
He wants something to put tab A into slot B. So
Buy a sex toy. It's much cheaper.
no. Yeah. He's shown Eliana the sex toy that he wanted to replace her with. He showed it to her in a Facebook message. He's like sending her a link to the sex toy. I mean, he doesn't have any kind of sense of decorum or what's proper behavior.
No. He has sent unsolicited nudes.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't seem to understand that, hey, in most states, that's unsolicited nudes is considered sexual harassment and is a crime.
Yep. That's right, Jimmy.
I said my piece. I'm not going to harp on it.
That's okay. Here, I'm going to get back to it here because he's got 3 more minutes of ranting, so that's another hour's worth.
I like what she does. She promotes
Brilliant. We'll stretch
esotericism.
this out to 3.5. Maybe make it the next episode.
Oh no, dude! Our Christmas Day episode, he had a 25-minute video, and it took us 3.5 hours just to decode the whole thing, and it was worth it. It was worth the 3.5 hours. So back it up just a little bit.
Angela's not involved in this in any way, shape, or form. I promote her channel because I like what she does. I like what she does. She promotes esotericism and occultism from an academic standpoint. That's what I like. And I'll promote her.
I wonder.
I'm going to...
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Okay, I have this weird theory that I'd actually kind of like to propose to Angela's Symposium about a computer pantheon of deities. Okay? Now, Maureen, all right, think about it like this. What was the first computer ever built? The first electronic, computer. Do you remember? It was a computer called Univac.
I was going to say modern age or the theories from Atlantis and Greece.
I'm thinking modern age computer. Univ
Wasn't it an IBM model back in the 40s or 50s?
Univac.
No, I thought it was the old. Yeah, it was the old Dell or whatever.
Yeah,
The
well,
old,
Univac is the first electronic computer. So if you think about it, Univac would represent an allfather to a computer pantheon of deities. Yeah, Univac gives birth to ENIAC, gives birth to Sperry Rand, all the way down to Microsoft and Apple, and Linux is the trickster daemon.
no one likes Linux.
Yeah, but the little Latin thing I have here. Blessed. Wait, did I? God damn it, Jimmy. I'm gonna fix that. Blessed be.
Yeah, that's gonna be the new catchphrase for the whole season, for the whole show. God damn it, Jimmy.
Yeah, it is.
Huh.
I call it the Jesus Jimmy game because every now and then he says something and you just go, Jesus Jimmy. Yeah. Blessed be Univac, Deus ex machina, God inside a machine. So, you'd be surprised. Oh shit. Yeah. Oh no, wait a minute. No, here. Yeah. Hey, Roots. Let's give you a wrench here. This moment.
So, got a question, Vance.
Yeah.
What do you shower with?
Axe body gel.
You don't use the Triolic anymore?
No. I gave up on the Triology soaps because that's another Discord that I left, and I just kind of got tired of that. So, God, here, give me a second because I gotta put Jimmy's video back up here really quickly. Oh,
Okay, seconds up.
shut up, Black Hydra. I'll mute you. No, I'm kidding.
You know you love me.
Yeah, I know. No, I love Jimmy more right now. So,
Oh, jeez.
So essentially,
I haven't bought you
I made
flowers
this
lately.
very.
Now you divorced me. I see how you are.
you haven't bought me the Landmaster, have you, Black Hydra? No, you haven't.
No, you have.
Okay.
Uh,
All right. Where were we at this video?
I think
Insane.
we're at the 3 minutes to go, approximately.
About
That's what you
that.
said.
Yeah.
But the fact is, you cross the line when you start harassing people that are not even remotely involved in this. You know, Angela's not involved in this in any way, shape, or form. I promote her channel because I like what she does. She promotes esotericism and occultism from an academic standpoint. That's what I like. And I'll promote her. Okay? If you think you can get in the way of that, go for it. She's allowed to think whatever she wants to think about me. But she's not dumb. Just saying. She's got a PhD in anthropology. She's not an idiot.
Oh, Jimmy, you're trying to appeal to intellectual women again, and Jimmy, it doesn't work because they just look at you and they just see how stupid you are, deep down inside. Jimmy.
I'll promote one person, Better Bachelor. That's the only real thing that I'll really promote, because he actually speaks the truth about how men should be, and not simping over women.
Yeah.
Whether real or digital.
Oh, Jimmy.
The
That's all.
problem
Well,
with
you know,
James is it's very hard to be it's really hard to be attracted to an intelligent woman and have this, arousal of women that have bigger brains, like he would say, but then at the same time have to explain away their behavior that they don't like him because they either lack the ability for free will or they're semi-stupid. So it's like you're attracted to a person that's unbelievably intelligent, but clearly not intelligent enough to realize that, anybody that says you're a bad guy doesn't, and convince them that you're a bad guy they're clearly a stupid woman, but they're so intelligent. Like
Mhm.
you consistently inconsistent always. It's like, oh, I think you're so intelligent. It's like, hey, no thanks, get out of my DMs. I heard you're a creep. It's like, well, obviously, lady, you're retarded because if you were smart, then I love your big brain, but clearly you also have like a barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen brain behind your giant brain because clearly you don't understand what's going on here. And my far superior intellect should be able to convince you otherwise that you're just being stupid. So how do you tell someone and compliment someone on how smart they are, but when it comes to you, you're talking to them and basically saying that, and I hate the word retarded, but this is how he's basically explaining it. He's said in his own words that this is retarded. She's retarded if she doesn't understand this. So and that's how he explained it to Ileana. She's extremely smart, but it's her autism that makes her unable to understand that she can be manipulated by people.
Mhm.
And that's how he kind of created this like bridge for the dissonance that he's been rejected. It's like she's the smartest person I've ever met and the most beautiful, but because of the autism she's socially retarded, so that's why she's just too stupid to understand that I'm amazing. But she can still have this giant brain, and that's the bridge that he kind of had to make it seem like, oh, she's not smart. She's smart and she's not interested. It's like she's smart and she's interested, but now she's been,
Manipulated.
right.
Manipulated.
And she's socially naive, but she's intellectually amazing. And he needs that narrative to stay there because if that goes away, what do you got? Like I even told Eliana, I said, she's like, I was tested for autism because at the time I was in a school that was stupid. And not that she was in there with stupid people, like special education or anything. She was saying like the administrators didn't know what they were doing. So then she got tested. And I told her, I said, hey, if you got your testing, you should put your results out and just put that on YouTube and be like, not autistic.
Mhm.
What is he going to do?
Yeah.
When is he going to do that?
Yeah, for real. James.
Because she's not autistic.
Yeah. She understands empathy. She understands the difference between jokes and serious statements. He makes all these wild assumptions, and he just does not understand Eliana in the slightest. And he pretends that he knows everything about her. He pretends that he has every kind of bond that he can have with her.
James, she has reached out to me, not me reaching out to her. She has reached out to me, and me and her have conversed. And I'm telling you, you're never going to believe me, but I'll tell you anyway. She's not autistic, James. There's nothing autistic about that girl. Nothing. But I mean, he'll never believe that. But I can say, as a person who has spoken directly to her, one-on-one, no, she does not.
James, you just dig that hole ever deeper. Let's go back into you.
You know what? I do want to say something to my friend. Honey, take care. And I am sorry if I raised my voice in the video.
Oh, you know what, James? I forgive you. You called me honey. I forgive you, James. You're buying me the Landmaster from Damnation Alley, after all. I forgive you, James.
was making fun of these idiots, and I am sorry if I scared you at all by raising
Oh, you didn't scare me, James. Trust me, honey. You didn't scare me.
my voice. I'm trying not to make videos like this anymore. It is hard because this is a constant thing. And even if I stop posting in my community tab, they don't stop. If I stop making videos, they don't stop. If you don't believe me, go to Randolph Vance's channel. Nothing will.
Don't you like it how he promotes me there, Black Hydra?
Okay, yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy. If you don't believe me.
I better not flip over to YouTube and see you two hugging.
Only in the Vegas wedding chapel, me and Jimmy.
All right.
Yeah.
You know what? And I talk a lot, so I apologize, but I want to put this out there too.
It's okay. Go ahead.
James, you should actually be kissing my ass, because one of her biggest questions was she wanted to know if you were the kind of person that was, going to show up in Argentina, throw her in a fucking Santa sack, carry her off, and like wear her skin, And I told her, no, I don't think that's not really your design or goal, So to be honest with you, there's people that have convinced her that you're not as insane as she initially thought when you were reaching out to her before you were making videos and before anybody even trolled. So, James, I think we played pretty middle ground here when it comes to, what your intentions are. Like, I think your intentions is, a grand end to a love story, like the 40-year-old virgin. I really do. But at the same time, I'm telling you, from the horse's mouth, it's not gonna end that way in Argentina. I mean, and that's not because of our influence. She thought about that a long time ago. That if you ever showed up here, if I ever saw this person in real life, like, she's hitting the bricks. She's grabbing the nearest cop. She's gonna pepper spray you and kick you in the balls, and you're never gonna breathe again. Like, it's not gonna be good. Like,
it's gonna be
every outcome is not a good outcome. It's not going to be what you think. And I'm not saying that to dissuade you from going. You want to go, you go. You can see for yourself, man. And if we see you stop making videos, then we know it turned out the way we thought, because it's hard to do a YouTube from an Argentinian cell.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
if we don't see a video for a couple months, we know where we are.
I'll have to make some contacts with like the State Department to see if they can, keep track of you in that Argentinian prison, Jamie. So,
Well, we'll just take them to the vet and get them chipped.
But to be fair, it's also hard to make videos from an Argentinian ditch, because that's the other possible outcome, which has nothing to do with any of this, with nothing to do with Eliana at all. You're stupid, James. You're the stereotypical American tourist that every other country hates. You get off that plane, you're going to be a target by the gangs, by the cartels, by all the criminals, because Argentina has their fair share of criminals, just like every other country.
Yeah,
and you're going to end up in a ditch.
He'll end up like having his wallet pickpocketed before anything even happens.
Honestly, my honest opinion, if he by some nightmare makes it down there, he's going to be an American tourist statistic, and it will have nothing to do with us, nothing to do with Eliana. He's going to, just like I said, going to be an arrogant, stupid American tourist, and he's going to come into contact with the wrong group of people. And if he comes back at all, he's coming back in box.
He's gonna taco his way to a punch in the face. I know that's definitely gonna happen.
Yeah.
But I actually think that if we're doing odds, I think it'll be, if we think of the most unlikely but hilarious way this ends, is American tourists killed by act of God when lightning hit an obelisk that fell on him.
No other people were injured. Yes.
Locals
apparently this has happened before, and they had the foresight to run.
Locals say that the man was sitting in the obelisk for about 2 weeks. For what reason is unknown. They found him wearing a satanic cross and holding a tiny llama.
I think he named the llama Pedro.
Oh, yeah, that's one of his things. Oh, Jimmy.
Stop them. They will find out everything about me and spread it all over the internet, and they're not even finding anything out. They're just fabricating crap at this point.
Fabricating crap. Well, Jimmy, you're the one reaching out to Angela's Symposium, and we're going to be the ones, reaching also out to Angela's Symposium to say, stay the hell away from James Robert Clark III, please. So, not the fact.
James,
Yeah.
James, I'm going to give you this warning too. The more you say that people are fabricating, the more they want to prove you wrong. And then the next thing you know, there's going to be a JRC III post on motherless.com of the joke. And like that's like the last thing you want when you're challenging people. If you know you've sent things to people that is inappropriate, why you poke the bear, James? Like that's what I don't understand. I'm trying to save you from embarrassment and I just,
It'll
you
end
know,
up with a 400-page document dub like with Mary.
right. It's
Mhm.
like you're if you know if you know that you've done something, you might think that you haven't done anything wrong, James. But I'm going to say this, right or wrong, if pictures of you in your little unit have made it to anybody's DMs, just stop because you know that they already made it to Galena's, and who knows how many real people also had the same picture. Just
Yeah.
just stop. Quit while you're ahead. You might think you're behind. You're gonna fight it this till the end, but I'm just telling you this as a friend at this point. Dial it down. You're on 11. Final tap style. Just bring that down to a 2 because you just don't. Like, that's not a threat. I mean, I don't have any of that stuff, James. It ain't gonna be any of us here posting that shit. But I'm saying it's almost like you're daring them. The
Mhm.
internet is a treacherous place, James, and you still got swimmies on. Like
Mm.
you're gonna drown in this thing. I'm just giving you the heads up. Like you don't have your social skills are lacking in the real world, it seems, let alone the world of the internet, where you don't know what's real, what's not real. You don't know what's sarcasm, what's not sarcasm, who is friend, who is foe. You don't who comes with a smile. Like, again, the fact that you said, I would have a beer with Adonis, Paul, and Hatman. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, are you kidding me? It's just you don't get it,
Oh,
and you're gonna get burned. So you don't stop. Like, heed the warnings. Beware. Death to all ye enter here, James. Like you're at the doorstep, man. You keep sticking one leg in. Just turn around and walk to somewhere else.
hey, Slander Bob, have a wrench. Just a moment.
Tell you what, we've already badmouthed him enough. Let's let him go. Let's see if he survives.
No,
Have fun.
no. We're not letting him go. He's my number one prize LolCow. So here, I'm gonna throw an
Yeah, but
invite.
we can milk this cow to death already.
Oh, we've begun. We've not even really begun milking this cow for the lols, but
We should do. We should just play these videos since they're smaller. We should just play them through the end and then talk about it instead of I'm just gonna be quiet and just hear the end of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because his second video is even better than this.
yeah, he just comes up with some of the nuttiest shit. So
Don't tell me that I'm about to tap out.
oh
Ugh.
yeah, let's get these next 2 minutes out of the way quick.
Okay?
Out.
That's what's so ridiculous. They really weren't ever finding anything out. It's just constant fabrication and exaggeration, like they do to Adrasdea. Okay? And the same thing, there's nothing exists in reality. It's all made up. They just make it up and go, oh, it's real. No, it's not. You can put anything you want on the internet, it doesn't make it real. Anyway, I do want to apologize to my friend for making a video. I didn't mention your name in it, but I do want to apologize for making the video. It wasn't meant to agitate you in any way.
You didn't agitate me, Jimmy. Trust me, you didn't agitate me. I forgive you. Okay? I forgive you.
Stay tuned into my community tab. I will still say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you every day.
Oh, thank you, Jimmy. I appreciate that. Yeah, I love it when somebody says good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to me every day, Jimmy. I look forward to that, Jimmy. Jimmy, I have to admit, loving you has really made me feel so beautiful. Ooh, 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 ooh.
I do want you to know that you're in my thoughts. I do want you to know that I can be calm and that I can be the same guy that you remember before I went, like, nuts from these people harassing me constantly.
Oh, don't worry, Jimmy. I won't let them harass you ever again. You got my word on that.
So take care
At
of
least until
yourself.
next week's episode.
Yeah.
Um, that's all. And don't let these people intimidate you and don't let them think negative things about me that you know aren't true. You know who I am. Take care, hon.
Take care, hun, too. Oh,
She thought those things long before anybody co-signed them and said, "Yeah, they are creepy." Like basically, she already thought that, James, and it was just like her saying, "Am I crazy or is this really weird?" And like the whole world said, "Oh yeah, girl, this is weird."
yeah. Now we're going to get into Mary's videos here. So let's go back to my VLC. Media, open folder, Adrasdea videos. There we go. And the first one we're starting off with, drop the documents, it changes nothing. You know what? We did drop the documents. It changed quite a bit. It made us see even more of what a liar you were, Mary.
Right. So apparently I need to apologize. I'm sorry that I didn't think my aunt needed your money. Um, I just woke up. I had laid down and took a nap, and I just got all of these messages saying, well, you were wrong. You lied again. Kathy came through once again. She showed the paperwork. She proved it. Okay. Like, I don't know what paperwork she's showing. I don't know what it's proved. Like, what has it proved? What has any of this proved? Are the police coming? Am I going to jail? No? Then it hasn't really been proved, has it? So, okay, Kathy has these papers and she wants more. She wants you to do the fundraiser. Give her money so she can release more public documents that prove.
Mary can't finish her thought. She's losing her train of thought because she doesn't know what to say about the fundraisers. Mary, I keep the fundraiser, because yes, it does help pay the streamer bills, and it's a good little reward for putting out good content, and I feel humbled at the donors like ASDSS and Matt Fields and Loki Larry and all of them, Mary, who have helped support my stream because they see and recognize good talent and good content, and I'm willing to put forth the effort to make good content. All you make, Mary, and Black Hydra, this is something that you'll find out more as you watch our channel. Mary is the grifter troll. She loves to donate, pity me, donate money because I'm having such a rough life right now. Everything's going wrong. I have PTSD from everything in my life. This is the same Mary that we were talking about, with Kenneth McBride and Roberta Law's Mary. So
And
we
what the hell is she wearing? Is she just wearing a loose shirt that's falling off of one arm and just a bra underneath? I mean, come
Yep.
on.
yeah, it's just, and she's
She owns about 5 shirts, and I don't think laundry happens.
yeah, and Black Hydra, did you notice the crystal that she has around her neck?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, there's a saying, the bigger the crystal, the crazier the woman. So she's pretty crazy. She's not totally crazy, but she's pretty crazy. Although that crystal, my granddad was a geologist, and that's where he got his degree in, was geology in the University of Wisconsin. And if my granddad was watching this, he would say, "Randy, that's a cat turd she's got around her neck." So,
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
oh, did you notice she muted herself? I thought that there was like a problem with the audio, but she's just like, "Ugh." She doesn't know what to say. She's
She has lied over and over. She probably does not know which lie she's told about which subject, and to a degree, she probably doesn't know what's the truth anymore.
Mhm.
So she doesn't know what to say to lie herself out to make herself look good.
And every time she lies, we catch her in a lie almost instantly. She lied about having a broken lock on the mailbox and about how somebody's stealing her mail. Well, we know for a fact that if there's a broken lock on the mailbox, postman's not going to deliver mail to that broken lock mailbox. He's going to take the mail back, and you're going to have to come pick it up at the hub, and he'll leave a note for you saying, "Come pick it up at the hub." We've caught Mary on so many lies even recently, and there's going to be more lies that we're going to catch her on, but she doesn't know what to say because now she's realizing we're going to catch her on every lie she tells. That's
and not
beautiful.
only that, if there's a broken lock on the mailbox and it's an apartment complex, shouldn't the property manager be taking care of that ASAP? Because that's mail fraud right there.
In theory, but there's this tiny little issue where she's in Section 8 and
Mhm.
hasn't been paying her portion of the rent in the 11, 12 months she's lived there. So either she does not want to approach property management because she has been paying, or the landlord property manager has said, we need your portion of the rent in order to fix it.
Maybe that brings up an interesting idea, is that maybe the lock isn't broken because of vandalism. It's broken because she is now deprived the privacy of having mail for not having paid her rent for so long. That basically they can't officially kick her out because like the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department's going to be like, "No, man, it's COVID. We're not kicking out anybody during COVID." And they're going to side with Adrasdea to a degree on that. But the property manager could be like, "Okay, until you pay your rent, you go, you're not getting your mail here," kind of thing. I don't know. That may also explain her statement from yesterday's video where she said the person, she used the singular pronoun, person. The person who has been taking my mail gave me this. So that person could be the property manager. Yeah.
There might be some agreement too where if the mailbox is broken until it's fixed, the property manager gets the mail. Who knows?
Yeah.
But back to her being possibly evicted, I think California actually ended their moratoriums back in September. I don't know if I haven't heard of it getting extended, so don't quote me on that.
Yeah. Well, we'd have
But
to.
she signed a 1-year lease, so if again, I'm just pulling this out of it's all hypothetical. If because she hasn't been paying her rent and she hasn't been doing what she's supposed to do, the housing authority could have reviewed her tenancy and her Section 8 voucher and said, "We're not renewing your voucher. We're not renewing your lease." She moved in the end of January of 2020, so they may have told her, "This is your official 30 days. Your lease is up January 19th of 2021. You need to be off the premises by that date."
Yeah. They've
I mean,
given
that's
her.
possible.
Yeah. They've given her
I'm not
second
saying.
chance after second chance after second chance now.
Yeah. Now, are you listening, Mary? I said that's possible. I didn't say
Possible.
that's what actually happened. It is an educated guess.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying 100% you are being evicted.
Because
Don't twist words.
because your lease began roughly around that time period in 2021, they would give you until that date 365 calendar days for your lease. That's how all leases work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
Well,
anyway.
mine's 2 years because I have an awesome landlord, but
Ah.
Okay, Kathy has
Well,
these papers.
Or here's another possibility. The landlord could have changed the lock, and she could have been the one who broke into the mailbox. That's why the lock is broken.
Oh yeah.
Now
Well,
you're starting to think like one of us. Damn, dude. That didn't occur to
honestly,
me. Yeah.
honestly, I I think it's very possible she just, whether or not the lock was changed, I think it's possible she just broke it herself to prove a point. Like she pulled the security bars off of her window and said, "You people did it. AP did it." And then a neighbor came by and offered to help her put it back up because it was easily fixable.
Yeah. I mean, she pulls these little histrionic stunts because she wants to make people think that she's in danger when she's really not. So,
Yeah, if you're in a Section 8 housing development, you're pretty much in the safest part of a white neighborhood.
yeah. That's an interesting way of looking at it. So,
Papers, and she wants more. She wants you to do the fundraiser. Give her money so she can
Well,
release more.
yeah, that's what all scammers want. They want more. They want money,
well, no,
especially these days.
she's accusing her Aunt Kathy, and her Aunt Kathy is the nicest, sweetest woman in the world. And she's part of our family, just like Eliana, because they're both horrible. They've been victims of horrible people in all this, and
Oh my God, haven't we all?
yeah, and Eliana and Mary are completely different people on that. And James tried to compare Eliana to Mary, and no, that's the furthest thing from the truth. Eliana is not a grifter troll who gains pity donations out of people from Facebook to give her money, or she loses her Section 8 apartment. Give me money, and she's turned around and just bought like weed and liquor with it. And she went on a very recent adventure where she was given Christmas gifts, and people were making jokes, or you should give that money back to AP. And she did. First she invested it in crypto and lost money in crypto. She lost like 20% of $10 on crypto, and then had to beg from more people just to give it back to AP, and then give another 20 back to Mersh. And it was just sad.
I bet you she's a crackhead. She looks like one.
She has been admitted to using opioids.
I do think she does harder drugs than weed.
Mm-hmm.
No
Yeah.
proof of it on camera, and she's never admitted to it more than the opioids. But the way she cries and carries on when she doesn't have enough weed, I seriously wonder.
I've gone through dry spells, Mary. I feel grumbly, I feel angry, but you know what? I hold out until payday, and then on payday, then I can get some weed. Mary, weed addiction does not make you this fucking agitated. Okay? That is
Oh,
that is
that's definitely not weed addiction right there.
No, it's not. It's like opiates or meth or benzos or Xanax or whatever. What drugs is she on? Because something's gone
Gone
wrong.
wrong.
Yeah.
She's either on crack or heroin, I'd say.
Heroin is a very likely possibility on that because of her past with opioids. So, but uh, I just thought I noticed like some bruising on her shoulder, like there. But maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just how malnourished and jaundiced her skin is. So she just yeah.
Public
Well,
documents.
still, no, go ahead.
I was gonna go ahead and play the video. So no, go ahead. What's your thought?
I was gonna say, taking with the way she's looking and the way she's acting, I mean, yeah, she's definitely a con artist and a grifter and everything else.
Oh
You can
yeah,
see that from a mile away.
she is. She has really got this act down. So
That prove
And not
that
only that,
prove
taking a lot of places are really starting to hire now, and even over here in Maryland, you can get a job for like $14 an hour. So what's her excuse?
Yeah, we've told Mary this is that there are call center type jobs where you don't even have to talk to the public at all. You would just, you know, do what are called micro tasks. You would flip the digital data hamburgers and you would complete one little micro task, do document verification, that kind of thing. And Mary doesn't want to do that because to her, it's easier to just pity grift people all the time for money. So, all right, I'm gonna get.
Well, Slender Bob says it the best right there. If she was on her with her, she'd be scratching her face. But,
Yeah, that's a good point. If she was on heroin, she'd be scratching her face. Yeah, that's a good point. So yeah, it's probably something else. It could be meth. Could be she's just a histrionic narcissistic bitch. But here, I'm gonna play the video. So
thank you, Benny T.
all right.
Showed the paperwork. She proved it. Okay. Like, I don't know what paperwork she's showing. I don't know what it's proved. Like, what has it proved? What has any of this proved? Are the police coming? Am I going to jail? No? Then it hasn't really been proved, has it? So, okay, Kathy has these papers and she wants more. She wants you to do the fundraiser. Give her money so she can release more public documents that prove. Okay. Give her money, I guess. I don't care. I don't care. If she wants to raise up $1 million like that, that is her business. There is literally nothing that she is going to release that is going to change anything. I know what the truth is. I lived through this. So, but I'm sorry. I made the video saying that my aunt did not need your money. And then she immediately came out with this paperwork saying, well, yeah, I do need your money. I need your fucking money. Send me your fucking money so I can get more paperwork to put out. So.
Kathy never said any of this, Mary. Literally never said any of this. Kathy was on my stream a few days ago, and Christmas Day. It was great. I mean, that was the best unexpected Christmas gift that I could get. More than the donations was having Kathy on. Was just connecting with Kathy and getting the truth, getting her side of the story, and Kathy literally never said any of those things, Mary. Not on my stream, not on anybody else's stream, Mary. You are lying through your fucking teeth. What's left of them. Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, we all could use money. I mean, I got bills out the wazoo that need to be paid.
Yeah.
And, we all need money. Yes, okay. I'm not going to deny that. Why don't you have a fundraiser for everyone? Raise enough money to give everyone $1 million each. Oh, wait. No, you're not going to do that because you're probably going to take that money and use it for something else.
No, actually, well, here's the thing. Adrasdea has bought people trucks before, and that's not a joke. She bought Adonis Paul a truck from the YouTube ad revenue from his videos. From just people.
Wait, so she used his money to buy him a truck?
Well, no, not exactly. Her videos were so nutter butters that his reaction videos to them were what got him the truck.
Okay, I got got you.
Yeah. So I mean, she has provided the LolCow Ranch material for AP to get him a truck. That was why I was kind of half joking. And for some of my streams, you would see where I would have like a blue Toyota pickup truck on my stream, Wildcat Blue 2022 Toyota Tacoma, because I'm nutty about Toyotas. And I was thinking, well, if Mary could get AP a truck, she can get me a truck too, just from the YouTube ad revenue. But yeah, and somehow Mary, she always takes and she's watching our videos. I know that she's watching. Mary takes our videos and she likes to confabulate her own little twist to them. She goes into what's, for lack of a better word, Tasmanian devil mode. She'll hear something to the effect of, we're talking about, oh, Adrasdea was on a corner in, whatever in Los Angeles, panhandling. And then Adrasdea gets mad. That's what turns on her Taz Devil mode. She's like, oh, they're talking about me again. They're talking about me again. They're talking about me again. And for 4 minutes, she is flipping the fuck out about us talking about her. And during those 4 minutes, we finished talking about the subject of Adrasdea panhandling. And I'm comparing it to the panhandlers here in Pueblo who are using dogs as part of their grift. And then, as soon as Adrasdea is, coming out of her Tasmanian devil mode, she's hearing, panhandlers with dogs on the highway, and she thinks that we're talking about her. She literally said that. Like, not even the very day that we were talking about her, she made a video that, they accused me of having a dog in the highway. And we're like, no, we never did. We never did that, Mary. That was part of what helped me kind of uncover her Tasmanian devil mode moments. So, yes, Aunt Kathy is a saint. She is a saint to this channel. So,
Okay, I guess my aunt needs your money so that she can release more public documents. I don't know what the fuck is happening. This
she's running out of words again. She can't think of what to say, so she just kind of it's like her brain is starting to reach pause moments now. So she doesn't know how to counter anything without us immediately calling it out for being a lie. So,
Randolph, I'm gonna tap out. I'm
all
sorry.
right, that's okay. Yeah, good night, Maureen. Thank you for sticking out this long. Good night.
Have a good night.
Yep.
Good
All right.
night. Thanks for having me.
All right. Okay, so I'm going to continue here.
send her the money she wants. I mean, I wasn't telling y'all to not send her money anyways. Okay? Like, if.
No, you did tell us to not send her money. You said that she was a millionaire and that she doesn't need our money. So you were definitely telling us to not send your Aunt Kathy money. You lying little troll.
She wants to raise money that way for her drug problem. That's her business.
Oh, you see what she did?
Drug problems.
She's passing her own drug problems off on the people who are trying to help her, who are trying to reach out to her, who are trying to make her, a better person. So,
See, didn't I call it a mile away?
Yeah. Everybody knows, Mary.
I was trying to warn y'all that she didn't need it because she has money, and anything she's going to be able to release is public record, and you can get it for free.
Yeah, we did. Remember, we saw the documents tonight about Kenneth McBride and about how they could just as easily have gone after you after going after Kenneth McBride. Yeah, well, 404 error, that's for damn sure.
But, I'm not playing this game, right? If my aunt wants to fundraise money for these public records, That is on her. I have absolutely nothing to do with it. Please do not let me know.
Then why is she jumping on to, her aunt trying to raise money to get her public records?
Because she's afraid that if people see her aunt's videos, if people see our videos and we're talking to Aunt Kathy and they see and hear her side of the story, their her fear is that the grift comes to an end, that they won't donate to Mary anymore. They'll be like, "Oh my God, Aunt Kathy, I am so sorry. I did not realize what Mary was doing to us." And at Kathy is going to be like, "That's okay. That's okay. You're not the first person she did that to. It's okay." And Aunt Kathy is the nicest, sweetest person in the world, and she has the kind of, she's the kind of person that, like I said, if you're stranded in a car and you're breaking down in the highway and you have to go to a stranger's house for help, she's the kind of person who her and her family, they don't treat you like strangers. They treat you like you're a part of their family, and they'll make sure that you're fed, and they'll make sure that you're clothed, and they'll make sure that you got a place to stay, and they'll make sure that your car gets fixed. They'll take care of you. And Mary rejects all of those things about her family and about trying to help people because all she wants to do is help herself to her next fix. Yeah.
I hear you. And on top of that, you take it easy, Slender Bob. Have a good night at work.
All right, night, Slender Bob. All right, you're come into the Discord, and I'll make sure that you're permanent wrenched in there. All right, night, Slander.
That my aunt is doing these things because I do not care. I want nothing to do with my family because they are abusive.
Then why do you keep making these videos attacking your family if you want nothing to do with them, Mary? Pretty simple.
Because she wants the money, not give it to them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So send her the money if you want. Let her get the free records if you want. Publish all of the free records that you wish.
That's another thing, Black Hydra, is that Mary will raise her voice to get what she wants. And thank God I got my headphones on, because if my neighbors upstairs could hear, they probably can hear me recording, and I'm sorry about that. But, anyway. Um, anyway, Mary has shouted at the top of her lungs, and you'll see it in the Mary documentaries that I've got linked below for the Mayo trilogy. She screams at the top of her lungs, "Adonis, put it on 4chan." And she's talking about how Adonis Paul has started this whole expose about what a drifting troll she is. So, and it all started because we were making jokes about, she was putting out videos putting mayonnaise in her hair, and then she got really upset about those videos, and it just took off from there. So
Maybe she needs to put something on her head because that hairstyle just is not working for her.
watch the Mayo documentaries. Yeah, definitely watch Mayo, particularly Mayo 2. That's where she is putting the mayo in her hair. But watch Mayo. You'll understand exactly where it all comes from. So
Well, I'm just saying that hairstyle does not work for her.
no, it doesn't. No, it really doesn't. And the hair colors don't work for her. And grifting money out of people, begging for, like rent money, and then turning around and buying hair color products for it. No, that doesn't work either, Mary. So I'm going to get back to the video.
Go ahead. Get my mental health records and publish them.
Okay.
What does it prove?
Everything.
Other than the fact that I have mental health records going back decades.
And she's going to make a big deal about the word decades. Mary, you are 36 years old. 3 decades is considered decades. I pre-watch these videos sometimes when I get a chance to. So,
Which, according to my aunt, there's nothing wrong with me. So how could I have mental health records going back decades?
I think it goes back to at least 8. That's usually when the trouble behavior begins. It began with me when I was 7, right around 7, around 8. Mary, that's when the trouble behavior begins, and then you're just becoming a pain in the ass to your parents. And yeah, I know from fact to some degree.
Huh. It's almost like the public records that she's posting is the exact opposite of what she has been saying herself for months on end.
No, Mary. Mary does this. She will take her own statements and then she'll turn around and make statements that are contrary to that. Mary, quite contrary. So,
And yet, nobody seems to notice that. Fascinating. Hit me up when something actually changes. Hit me
There's
up.
times when you just want to see these people on the street and just smack the shit out of them.
well, you know what? There's one homeless person here in Pueblo, and he's like, right down the corner from us, and he hangs out by one of the area Burger Kings, and he's the one that I'm talking about that's got his dog with him, and he'll just sit there, and his dog is just sitting there, right by the corner of the road, and uh you can smell the cigarettes from him from, like, 50 feet away. He's just constantly smoking cigarettes. It's those kinds of, homeless grifters that you know that the money that you're giving them isn't really helping them buy food. It's helping them buy liquor. It's helping them buy cigarettes. It's helping them. It's helping them buy
Yeah,
heroin.
yeah, that's the thing. If you walk up to a homeless person and hand them a sandwich, they'll actually get mad at you and say, "Well, what about the money?"
And I've given a homeless person a sandwich before, and I've seen the how genuine the reaction was when they said, "God bless you, man." It was a French dip sandwich from work. That they had, like, this little cooler with, like, the automat vending machines, and I was taking home a French dip sandwich because it's like, it was going to be a meal for me. And then I was kind of driving home from work, and then I saw this guy. I was like, you know what? And I opened the window. And I gave him the sandwich. He's like, "God bless you, man." And I was like, made me feel good. It didn't. I didn't get this grand notion that I had changed the world and turned it, into a magical, beautiful place. But for that one small moment, I had helped a person in need, and he wasn't ungrateful for that. So
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong.
there's,
There's a lot of people who need help and everything else. Don't
hmm
get me wrong at all.
yeah,
You know, but some people they just do it just to make more money,
yeah.
and that's just disgusting for everyone who actually needs help.
All right, I'm gonna get back to the video. So
When they post something that's not public record or something that's going to change anything, hit me up when the police are actually looking for me for a retrial. Because these things aren't going to happen. And you know that just as well as I do. And you can torture me for a whole nother year using my family to help abuse me for a full nother year. Or I can just back off and allow you to do whatever you want. Which,
you know what? Adonis Paul, the three-dimensional Adonis Paul that I saw on Daywave Radio earlier this morning, he gave you the best advice of all, Mary. Leave the internet. Leave the internet, and he doesn't have to release all 116 pages of the 120 pages he has about you right now. We saw 4 of them tonight, Mary. We saw 4 of them. He's got 116 more. Leave the internet, and I can release you from the ranch right now, and you won't ever have to worry about us trolling you again. Leave the internet, and it becomes so much easier for you. Okay? We're not saying kill yourself. We're never saying kill yourself, because your life is just as valuable as ours right now, believe it or not. We are saying leave the internet. We are saying stop making these videos. We are saying to stop your grifting and get a job. Okay, Mary? That's what we're saying.
Is what's happening. Do what you want. Have fun. I'm not stopping you, but nothing you can do is going to change the way that I'm living at this moment. Nothing you can do is going to change my life or my past.
And she just abruptly ends these videos, and it just goes right to the next one. JRC III, he will actually end the videos by saying, and that's all for this video. So, but Adrasdea, she just kind of goes freeform on these. So, next one, your facts simply don't match my memories. Okay.
Okay, so what I'm gathering from the comments is what's been proven is that I took my grandmother to court in a wheelchair.
Wait, let's see if she's in the same outfit.
Yeah, it is. It does look like the same outfit. It looks like some kind of bed clothing. God, I hope I don't have to obscure some titty on this. Wait. This is an educational video. Remember?
We're gonna go with that one.
Might as well.
Oh, great.
Black Hydra, were you watching Virgie's stream last night?
No, I don't think I caught it.
Chat, you remember Virgie, what he had going for his educational videos?
Oh, God. I'm afraid to ask.
Anyways.
Do not remember my grandmother being
right.
there. I don't know how I took her to court when I didn't even take myself to court.
No, Mary. Nobody ever accused you of taking your grandmother to court. Okay, I'm going to call you out on this lie right now. No, I'm sorry, Adonis Paul. No, we did not catch it tonight on Virgie. We did hear about the doc dump that you had on this. And AP, I think you have permanent. Yeah, it makes all these videos age like milk in just one day.
I agree with that one.
Yeah. AP, you should have permanent voice wrench, so you can just pop in anytime if you'd like and call out Mary. And this way, yeah, well, you have started her day with Daywave Radio, and you'll be ending her day with my show. So leave the internet, Mary. And AP doesn't have to make Mayo 4, and he doesn't have to release the remaining 116 of those 120 documents. Just leave the internet. Just walk away, Mary. Just walk away. See how I threw that little Mad Max quote in there? There you go.
See, at the time, I was staying with an ex-boyfriend who had me addicted to morphine. And the police came and picked me up from his house the morning of the trial.
It's okay, AP. I'm not going to hold you to that. I understand that you're kind of burned out from all this. So, yeah, it's all good.
And took me to the court. So, y'all are saying that I picked my grandmother up, I drove her to court.
We never said that, Mary. What we did say, though, is that your grandmother was on the state's witness list. We never said anything about how she was transported from her house to the courtroom. We said that your grandmother was on the state's witness list, and she was ready to be called at a moment's notice in case your testimony required her to be called on the stand. Okay? She was ready to go. She just didn't need to be called.
Put her in a wheelchair, and then I cried and claimed that I was her sole caregiver. And
now you were trying to pity the courts by making it think that your grandmother was the only sole caregiver and that was the only other option you had. And we saw that in the documents that we were looking at about you, is that you were trying to make it think that your grandmother was your only other option and she was getting ready to throw you the fuck out. And what could have happened is if she was a state's witness, they would have asked her, "Hey, what was happening with you and Adrasdea?" "Well, I was getting ready to throw her the fuck out." There you go, Mary.
That Kathy proved all
Well,
of this.
here's a question, real quick.
Go ahead.
If she's in Section 8 housing and she's so poor,
Well, now she is. Now she is. But then her housing situation was just all over the place. So,
well, yeah,
Yeah.
let's go run with that. But also, taking is she on her own phone plan or is she on Aunt's phone plan? How's she making these videos?
Now
Or does she have one of them government phones?
she has a straight talk plan because I've seen that icon on her desktop. So she's got a straight talk.
Okay, then what's she doing in order to make the money to pay for her straight talk?
Grifting. She grifts. Yeah, she will pity donate, grift out of whoever will listen to her on Facebook. "Oh, I need money to turn my phone back on. Oh, I need money to pay my rent. Oh, I need money for tampons." That kind of thing. She just finds the little things that she just doesn't have the money for, and she just can't save up enough money to get. "Oh, help me out, please, buy me this."
Yeah, she wouldn't. Yeah, yeah. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Mm-hmm. At Mary, tampons are not that hard to procure. Free tampons. Okay? I mean, you go to a gas station or like a library. You'll find free tampons in the tampon dispensers. That's not an issue. She was just looking for money for weed or for whatever drugs else that she's on. So, oh, hey, Healer Inc. Hi, Pablo here. Hi. Uh, is this the Pablo that I talked to at my work at home job? I think. If it is, yeah. Hey, welcome to our channel. Cool. What does Virgie stream on? Yeah, he streams on YouTube. So, yeah. So.
When I saw the name Pablo, I thought, oh, this must be one of Ileana's relatives that we hear about. Some.
No. He's a friend of mine.
I'm literally just kidding.
There's an actual Pablo. He's a friend of mine from work, and I was just telling him tonight about my videos. He's like, "Cool, I'll check it out." I was like, "Cool, I'm going to be on later tonight." So yeah. So hi, Pablo. So.
Well,
But I don't know how.
Go ahead, Black Hydra.
no, I was just saying welcome. But go ahead.
Oh yeah. Okay. So.
How she could prove something that didn't happen. It's not possible that I drove my grandmother to the hospital and put her in to the court and put her in a wheelchair when the police took me to the court.
See, you notice how her story just suddenly changed, just like on the fly. Like it had to like be revised and she had to kind of update it because that's her subconscious trying to bleed out the truth from her, and it's trying to make her reveal the truth that her conscious mind is trying to obscure. So, Pablo, this is Adrasdea, aka Mary Barone. She's the grifter troll that I was telling you about from Los Angeles, who pity donates people and makes you feel guilty for donating money to her afterwards. So.
And she didn't have a wheelchair. She had a walker.
Well, Mary, you know what? My mom didn't necessarily have a wheelchair either, but she had a walker. But when she would go places, they would find a rental wheelchair to help her out with. Hospitals have wheelchairs, and you're talking about a courtroom, Mary. A courtroom is always going to have one or two wheelchairs for the people who need them. Okay? So,
And even if they don't, they could just wheel out an office chair.
yeah, they'll find something. Yeah, if the current wheelchair's in use, they'll get an office chair for her. They will make accommodations for your grandmother, Mary. So he's not Mary is not understanding that courtrooms are prepared for the for witnesses who have the most extreme of needs.
That's right, Doc. She was beaten with an ugly stick.
In Minecraft.
No, that's giving her the good side of it.
Yeah, even Goodwill has wheelchairs for people. Mary, there's all kinds of donation programs that will give people wheelchairs for people who need them. Even the electric wheelchairs. There's donation programs. You can get like a free electric mobility scooter. Medicare picks that stuff up. You see those ads for Liberty Mobile on the last 5 minutes of The Price is Right. After all, Mary, you're not as bright as you think you are, and we're catching you on even more of your lies. So,
My grandmother would not have used a wheelchair.
No. You're trying to make it seem like your grandmother, had, pride. Well, okay, your grandmother is probably, getting up there in her years, so it's easier for her and it's easier for the court to have her in the wheelchair, because that way they can pull her into the elevator. They can get her up to whatever floor the courtroom is in. The bailiffs can make sure that she's seated in the gallery, not the audience, the gallery. She called it an audience the other day. That's what really kind of screwed with everybody's heads. So, yeah.
And Annie Green, that's hilarious. Not the stick, but the whole tree.
Yeah. And if you're on Medicare, you can get a wheelchair fast, even the electric wheelchairs, Mary. Mary, the whole point of us talking about your grandmother in the courtroom, it was not the fact that your grandmother was in the wheelchair, it's the fact that your grandmother was one of the state's witnesses who was ready to be called to counter your testimony. Oh, Mary just comes up.
Sarah, you are right. I mean, it would make her grandmother look better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm gonna get back to her video here. So
She was very prideful. Even when she couldn't walk, she would not use a chair. So if Kathy somehow showed evidence of me taking my grandmother to court in a wheelchair, that's crazy. That's absolutely insane.
this is how Mary invents her lies. She just comes up with the most oddball shit that she thinks is gonna stick to the wall, and she throws it. So, Mary, none of us ever said any of those things about Aunt Kathy never said those things about your grandmother. We never said those things. We did say that your grandmother was one of the state's witnesses. Okay?
That exists.
Yeah, we do need better LolCows. Yeah. If you know of any, hey, throw them in the Discord. Yeah, we will pre-screen them, and we will see how LolCow worthy they are.
Because I have no memory of it. But okay, congratulations, I guess. Good job. What does it change? And y'all are saying, well, Kathy's not asking for money. Well, it seemed like a dry bag. That's what y'all say to me. Every time I post anything, you say, well, it's a dry bag. You're dry begging.
Yeah, we call dry begging anytime that she asks for money, but she's not going to offer like nudes or any kind of like, favors in return kind of thing. So, yeah. And we've proved that Adrasdea is watching our streams. So,
yes.
Oh, Sarah, Kathy never claimed Mary brought her. Mary's uncle drove her. She uses ridiculous little details that aren't true to try and ruin the whole narrative. Yeah, that's exactly how you're getting exposed, Mary. So
Yesterday, there was a comment about a fundraiser for Kathy. I said that Kathy did not need a fundraiser to put up those documents, and then suddenly Kathy is uploading documents. To me, that is like a silent way of saying, go ahead for the fundraiser.
oh, Jack Murphy, that's the one that the keto cook. Yeah, that's actually, you know what? His cooking is just that bad enough, and I've seen his videos to get 0 likes and 100 dislikes. Yeah, nobody's eating his vomit. So yeah, I'll definitely take a look at his videos.
I've got the documents. I'm uploading them for you. You're on the right track. I'm not going to verbalize this, but you're in the comments saying it already. You've mentioned the fundraiser, so here's a little bit of the documents that you want, and you can fill in the rest. The problem is these documents don't cost any money.
Venny P, the mastermind. You just noticed that her do that gay hair flip thing we all did when we had long hair in middle school? I mean, the boys would. Yeah, that's a good observations, that we got here. So
They are all public record. So y'all are paying her to release public records that you could easily get yourself, and none of it is going to change anything.
Sarah, this is not just a theory. It's a game theory. No, I'm kidding.
yeah, it is. She's afraid that if people, she hates it when live streamers take her videos and are able to get even like $1.09 out of them. She hates it when somebody else gets money off of her videos and she doesn't get a dime. Absolutely hates that. So
that's all there is about it. The way that my story is being told at this point, it sounds like it's somebody else's life completely. The idea of me pushing my grandmother in a wheelchair in front of a courtroom of people is blasphemous to my grandmother. And that's what Kathy's saying, apparently.
no, Sarah just disproved you right now in our chat when she said that Mary's uncle drove her. She uses, and that you use these ridiculous little details that just, ruin your whole narrative.
That's disgusting. Anybody that knew my grandmother knew that she wasn't going to sit down in a wheelchair. Especially not in front of a courtroom full of people. Good Lord. You could barely keep that woman down in a hospital where people know you're sick.
Yeah, another one of those abrupt ends. This one is called If Memory Loss Lies. What about Kathy's lack of memories? This one I haven't seen yet, so we're going to kind of, go in this fresh.
Memories are subjective. So, y'all are saying, oh, it's convenient. You never remember these things. There's a lot of things that I don't remember. Literally. A lot of my life, I don't remember. And that's not only me. Like, most people have kind of blotchy memories. Y'all keep questioning me over and over and over again about something that happened almost a decade ago. And you don't understand how my memory could be slightly altered, varied. It happened a decade ago. I genuinely do not remember my grandmother being there. Do not remember her testifying. Do not remember her being in a wheelchair. Do not remember pushing her up there. I remember none of that. So, that's what I have to say. If y'all have proof that I remember these things, okay. I would love to see your proof that I remember something that I don't remember. And talking about memories, Kathy can bring up all of these documents to prove I'm a horrible person and make fun of my memory loss. And yet she has no memories of the man that her sister was married to for nearly 40 years.
Oh, you know what, Black Hydra? This is as good a point to tell about Mary's first husband. Mary's first,
God.
Mary's first husband was transgendered and had a 16-year-old girlfriend on the side that Mary would take her husband over to go see.
Well, like, where to begin?
Yeah, like I said, you got to watch the Mayo documentaries because they'll explain everything about Mayo, including Mary's first husband.
She has.
And in all fairness, that's when her husband kind of came out with everything that was going on. So she was 16 when she was taking him over there, but that doesn't mean that that's when he started grooming the 16-year-old girl. She could have been 14 or 15 or younger.
Easily, yeah, easily. And Mary has said that she has admitted taking her husband to visit the 16-year-old girlfriend. So, and her story changed about that quite dramatically, So,
How is it Kathy has no memories of my father's abusiveness? That lasted for decades, and she doesn't remember any of it. And y'all see that is perfectly normal. But I have trouble remembering something that happened a decade ago and lasted only a couple of years.
that is a hell of a lot of memories for you to forget. 2 years worth of memories? That's a hell of a lot of memories that you just don't remember, Mary. I call
Well,
I call bullshit on that, don't you?
she has what they call selective memory problems
Mm-hmm.
because she can remember every bad thing anyone's ever said about her, remember every episode of AP, but she can never remember a single thing that would implicate her in being like not so great of a person.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Well, Sarah, I agree with you, but at the same time, I was letting it fester. I was like, okay, taking if she knows that her husband is with a 16-year-old girl, that's just dirty. Uh, why? I mean, come on.
She was more interested in defending her husband's choice of which bathroom to use. So take of that what you will, but anyway. I want to get back to the video here.
And suddenly it's by choice. Why is it that my memory lapses are by choice, but Kathy's memory lapses are seen as completely normal? Because she seems to have completely forgotten the years between 1980 and 2006, when her younger sister was married to a man who was extremely abusive. So abusive that she wouldn't even bring her children over to visit. But that's completely forgotten about. That never existed, never happened. And this is just my life, this is what 2022 is going to be. Constantly going over documents and court documents from 2013 that mean absolutely nothing. They change nothing. Going over these things over and over and over again changes nothing.
Over and over and over again. Over and over and over. Oh, and don't worry, I've not been infected by any kind of chat bots on that. That is what I put in Google Translate comes out to, hey, please help promote my Laughing Cow Ranch. Thank you. So, Let's get back to the video.
Kathy being honest about how much of a monster my father was would change a lot. It would change a lot. But that's never going to happen. And it's frustrating as hell how her memory can be selective, but mine can't.
Oh, so Mary, so you're wanting to defend a selective memory here on this, especially where you're selecting pretty well the memories that you don't want us to know about? Mary. Alright.
Having CPTSD, it does affect your memory.
CPTSD? Where does the C come in from on this?
Chronic.
No.
Chronic PTSD.
No, that's bullshit.
I know it is. We all know it is.
She has COPDSD. Or how does that work? COPTSD something. I don't know. She breathes and it affects her lungs, I guess.
You have memory problems. Even the medication I'm on affects your memory.
Hey, good morning, Hatman. How are you this evening? Or this morning? 0 deaths among the lulz herds. Yeah, we keep them alive here. Yeah, we try to keep them lively here.
So, what I remember or don't remember has not changed. Y'all keep saying this happened and trying to force me to remember it, but I have no active memory of it, so you forcing this information on me has not changed my memory in any way.
She was trying to find a color filter just now. I didn't do anything, I swear, on this video. But she's trying to find a color filter that just makes her look less,
Pathetic.
pathetic. Yeah. And nothing really helps. There is no filter that helps, Mary. Except the truth. Telling the truth is the best filter. Getting a job is a pretty good filter also. So.
I mean, I know you're trying to, but it's not changing my mindset or my mind, the way my mind has.
And her life could not be that horrible. When she was living with her grandmom or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, she had a roof over her head, 3 hots and a cot. She could do whatever she wants. She has her phone and everything taken. Oh, why is she hating on her so much? What? Because she's told, you have to be at the house at a certain time, otherwise I'm locking the doors, and you're not able to come in.
Anyway.
Stored information.
This will be the last video of the night.
Oh wait, before you do that, Vance.
Yeah.
So because I was just trying to tune out. I can't listen to Mary's voice like hardly anymore. So I was tuning her out. But
yeah,
I've been trying to figure out like when James talks about the things that it almost sounds like the way he describes like conversations him and Aliana share about Star Wars or her not liking white people and her explanation on it. And I'm like, where is he getting this? Because I know they haven't talked.
Yeah.
They have not had a back and forth conversation in 6 years. So where is he getting these assumptions from and then creating these like scripts that he's having like this real life conversation, this back and forth conversation? So when he's talking about it sounds like they're friends and they actually talk. Well, I started just looking at things that are just available, right? So why does she not like white people? Because on her Goodreads read books was why I don't talk to white people about race. Why is she not? Why is she a National Socialist? Because she read Mein Kampf. Why does she like Immanuel Kant? Because she read a philosophy book that mentions in the title Immanuel Kant. So he literally gleaned her Goodreads. And then it's just like he's creating these conversations about the things that she likes and doesn't like. But what he misses is she read Mein Kampf, gave like 3 stars. Then she read The Diary of Anne Frank. It was right underneath it. Gave that shit like almost 5 stars. So it's like for every topic, she also reads the complete opposite topic, right? To see all points of view
Oh God.
based on her Goodreads, but he selects the ones that he's interested in, and then creates this narrative that they're having these conversations in real life. He literally. I'm trying to think of like the
Oh.
best example. He's like Tom Hanks in Castaway talking to Wilson.
Yeah.
That's where he is right now, and it's
Yeah.
just like he's on this island of loneliness in that apartment with the fucking volleyball, wearing a brown wig, and he's just Eliana, Eliana. But and
Oh.
so I asked her when he mentioned Star Wars. So I literally just messaged her. I'm like, "You like Star Wars?" And she's like, "Oh my god, I made like a post one time. Like one time, I had like a Star Wars meme. Like it's just." He takes this one little piece of what he thinks is data and then creates this entire interest. Like, but he based his entire knowledge of her on her fucking Goodreads shelf.
Yeah.
It's amazing when you find out where is he pulling his data to say like I know her better than everyone else. But I'm not a stalker because I've created all of her interests from her Goodreads shelf. Like, oh my god.
Oh. Oh, Bob.
No, and not only that, Vinny P pulled up why it's CPTSD. It's compound PTSD. Apparently, he's diagnosed with it.
Well.
What complex? Oh, CPTSD is complex CPTSD, and it's people who have So people who have complex PTSD. It's it's the notion that like the assumption that what people believe is that like if you for instance were like sexually abused, like the assumption is you wouldn't have an interest in being touched or having any kind of like sexual relationships with people. But for CPSD, it's more along the lines of some people with that will be extremely hypersexual, like almost like to the level of a sex addiction is a kind of an example of how post-traumatic stress disorder can be look a little opposite of what most people would expect. So a good example of someone with CPTSD is someone that actually got pretty famous on a post. She's like getting to the level of LolCow in certain realms, and it's this girl named Evie, and she had did a TikTok about why you should fuck on the first date, and it got like a bazillion views. So she had like this mental health YouTube and talked about her mental health struggles, but she was talking about how she was recovering and doing a good job with her addictions and staving them off and where they come from. And I said, she's a perfect example of what CPTSD looks like and like how it behaviorally looks. But then the twist was she's saying, I've been doing good with my issues with, sexual issues and everything else. And then people just railed her and said, oh, well, if you're doing so well. And they started posting her OnlyFans accounts of her doing all kinds of shit.
I'm sorry.
And she's been like changing the names of her OnlyFans accounts like every other day. And of course, people just find her. And it's just one of those situations where it's like they're hitting her at being like hypocritical. It's like you're posting all this stuff about this great recovery you're having and trying to give people advice, and then here's your OnlyFans video of sucking some random dude's dick. So it was just kind of like she's been getting trolled pretty hard. But her mental health videos on YouTube, when she's explaining it, I was like, that's exactly in treatment the insight you would want that person to have. It just doesn't seem like she's maintaining that recovery very well.
Yeah. It's like I've been hearing that Jack Murphy, is a pretty interesting LolCow. because of his OnlyFans. I think I saw some of those photos, and then I didn't want to see some of those photos. Oh, Jack. Oh, my goodness.
Just so tired of it.
It's okay, Bobcat.
Just the thought of going.
I'm just gonna go troll some Goodreads
Okay.
shelves and start, start creating fake relationships in my mind right now
Hey,
as I doze off to sleep.
I did save a photo of James Robert Clark's hundreds of books on his bookshelf, and I was gonna maybe do a video, and we'll just kind of we'll do like a separate video where we could just go through each book and what's the meaning of that book and why does he have it on his shelf, kind of thing. So,
Well, the funnier thing would be, are any of the books that Ileana read actually on that shelf? Because I'm pretty sure he just read the summary on the Goodreads and didn't read any of those books
yeah,
at all.
you'll know.
Maybe he might have read Mein Kampf. He might have read that might be the only book on there that he actually read.
Mm. Okay, so
Year of this. Just. And now they're saying that Adonis Paul is going to have the full 120-page court transcript, and that's it for me. That's it. That is what's going to end me. It's going to kill me. The people are never going to stop. They're never going to let me rest. They're never going to believe me. They're never, ever, 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 ever going to let me exist. Oh, we're gonna expose this whole 120-page public record. You're over. You're done. It's over. Kill yourself. It's over. Kill yourself. It's over. Kill yourself. It's over. You're done. You have nothing to live for.
Mary, if for some reason you make it to 1,000 subscribers, this is the video that gets your YouTube channel yeeted almost instantly. Okay? No one has said for you to do this. No one has said for you to do this, Mary.
You have no family. You have no friends. And soon, the entire world will be able to see the public records that have been out there and available for the last decade. So just kill yourself because it's over.
No, Adonis Paul said you need to leave the internet. He never said anything about kill yourself. Okay? And good evening, Sacktown Steelers fan. I'm sorry, I'm kind of multitasking right now. I apologize. But yeah, good evening.
Over and over and over and over again, they keep saying these things to.
Over and over and over again. I really have got to get one of those like soundboard things for my or stream decks. It's a stream deck. Got to get one of those. Those things look sweet. So that way I could just push on a button over and over and over, over and over and over, over and over and over.
To me. And I
Well,
haven't.
you have fun. I'm out.
All right, good night, Black Hydra. Have a good night. We're actually almost out too, so but this will be the last video. But good night.
Well, I'll hang out then. No worries.
Okay, hang on.
Done anything. Everything that they're exposing has been public record, and it happened a decade ago. It did not happen yesterday, and that none of it is going to change my memories. Adonis Paul has somehow gotten the hard drive from the busted up computer, and they're sending it to a special lab. I don't care!
No, Mary, Adonis Paul did not get the busted up hard drive, okay? It's probably still in an evidence locker somewhere in a Florida, courtroom right now, or in a police locker room. Mary, and nobody cares about that hard drive, okay? If they did, they really would have recovered the data from it.
I do not care because I know that there is nothing they're going to find because I did not do what you keep insisting that I did. You could put out a 500-page transcript. It's not going to change a goddamn thing. What is it changing? What has changed? What has, aside from
And
my
here come the
life?
waterworks.
Yep, here come the waterworks. Exactly. She doesn't. She doesn't get enough money from her anger, so get it from turning on the waterworks. Hi,
Exactly,
Becoming a
Bobcat.
complete
Yeah.
living hell.
Come here.
Because these people won't let it go, won't let me live. They won't stop until they have killed me. They want me to go another full year of this. Just another full year. And then after that, it'll be another year, and after that, it'll be another year, and just year after year after year after year.
Over and over and over again.
They are never going to stop. They are never going to stop until I do what they want.
Mary, what I want you to do is stop the grifting and get a job. Go find a call center. There are plenty of jobs available where you don't even have to talk to people at those call centers. They will find work for you that involves doing micro tasks. Mary, you can get a pretty decent life from working in an office type environment and not have to really worry too much about you know serving the public. You don't have to serve anybody except like one or two other people, and they'll be easy to get along with, Mary, because they don't want to work in serving the public either.
And what they want.
Xander, that's a horrible play on words.
Yeah, there's something about Mary. No, that's one of the things that they've done. There is something about Mary Barone.
Is for me to die. They need me to die so that nobody ever finds out what happened to my grandmother's will. If anybody ever found out what the family did to that will, then Kathy would be in trouble, and they love Kathy, so they have to protect her, so they have to make me kill myself so that nobody ever finds out what Kathy did.
She's pretending it's that episode of Better Call Saul where Jimmy has basically taken the, documents, the legal documents that Kim was working on, and then surreptitiously changed all of them, and then basically screwed over his brother by doing it and gaslighting the shit out of his brother. So,
Well, I think the sad part is that the only real tears that come from her is this loss of money. I mean,
hmm
she could talk about the crime that she didn't do this. There's not a single shred of remorse for the person that lost their life. But when it comes to the, being bilked out of her inheritance,
yeah,
in her mind, it's like, that's where the real wound is. It's the only time that she even shows any genuine emotion on anything of sadness and the anger. It's just money. Everything is money motivated.
exactly. Yeah. You better stop Kathy or she'll get my grandmother's money, kind of thing. So, at this point, we're not going to stop Kathy. We want her to have your grandmother's money because that way you don't get it, Mary.
They have to make me the monster. They have to make me the bad person. They have to put me through this for another full year. All for Kathy. Just so that nobody will ever find out what she did because everybody's too busy looking at everything that I've done And I haven't done anything.
Exactly. She hasn't done anything.
Yeah, she didn't do anything in the Walmart when she was with Kenneth buying the shovel. She could have done something, but she didn't. Yeah, you're right, Mary. You didn't do anything.
2021 was hell. Because these people are so obsessed with me dying.
No, you're confusing the word lying with dying, Mary. They both sound the same, but one starts with an L and the other one starts with a D. The same thing, you know what? I'm going to take away the word dying from you. And from now on, whenever you say that you're dying, we know that you really mean you're lying. We're taking away that word from you, Mary.
And you are right, Sarah. She didn't do anything to stop it.
She just lives by her own pleasures. She doesn't want to. She doesn't want to have to think about anybody else and have to worry about pleasing them or you know people are just means to an end to get her booze and get her weed. So
And they're
she's breaking the charger on her phone again because that's that bling bling. Yeah, she's trying to use her phone for so much, and I'll be surprised if her phone makes it another 2 months right now, because she's probably worn out the charger to the point where it can't hold or it can't hold itself into the charging port. So
gonna keep on and keep on. In 2022, they've already told me. You know how many emails I've received telling
And you're
me
right,
that
Bobcat. She is over dramatic.
yeah,
Or Miss.
Briscoe. That's the Briscoe. So
2022 is going to be the exact same hell.
oh no, Mary, it's not going to be the exact same hell. It's going to be worse.
Oh yeah, she thinks she's living in hell now. Wait
Yeah.
till the end.
Mm-hmm.
Can't. I can't do it anymore. I can't fight these people.
Sarah, that's actually something we brought up in one of the court documents that we looked at. One of the 4 out of 120 documents now, Mary. We've seen 4 of them. The one document showed that basically Florida did not consider what Kenneth McBride did to be for any kind of financial gain. Yes, they did use Roberta's ATM card afterwards, but that they really just considered more what Kenneth did was just a crime of uh, I'll do it, shut the fuck up, Mary kind of thing, and kind of thing. So
I don't know anything about them. I don't want to know anything about them. All I want is for them to stop.
she must be watching my videos, and my videos are making her cry because I'm exposing her grifts and I'm cutting off her donations and I'm telling the people on Facebook all about her and making them see the true Mary Barone. That's what she's crying about. She's crying that I'm taking away her sources of drug money.
Just stop. Just leave me alone and allow me to live. But they can't. They have to kill me because Kathy wants me dead. My family needs me to die, and the entire world is going to help them push me until it's over because
Mary, I think that a good piece of advice to make is if you're making these videos and you're crying just like nonstop, or at least through a good 85% of those videos, don't upload those videos. Okay? They make you look bad. Just, you know.
Yeah, exactly, JS. It's basically cry bullying.
Mhm. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so
Okay.
sad. Poor pity me. Oh, wah, wah, wah. It's all horrible. My life is horrible. Oh, give
Yeah.
me a break.
Yeah.
If you want to hear horrible, I got a horrible story for you.
Oh yeah. Mary, you have yet to hear what horrible stories are, but you will. Yeah.
Fight, the more they're gonna push me, the longer I struggle to keep myself here, the more they're going to attack me, the more they're going to lie about me, and the just they're never ending. It's a never ending supply of hate. Day after day after day. Just hate.
Hate, hate, hate.
My entire life has just been so much hate.
Hate, hate, hate.
There's never gonna be any love.
Pretty much.
Mhm.
There's never gonna be any happiness until it's over. I didn't do anything to these people.
Where is the love for little Mary Barone? 'Cause she's all alone. 'Cause she's all alone.
Nice.
Where is the love?
Very nice.
I just can't take this anymore. I just can't keep fighting.
That's hilarious, Xander.
I've fought for a year already, being told to kill myself every single day. Over and every fucking. You just keep saying it's over. There's no coming back from this. There's no coming back. There's no coming back. There's no coming back. There's no coming back because
She's hitting that buttery note of repetition. She's learning that from James Robert Clark III. Oh, there's no coming back from this.
nobody cares and nobody loves you and nobody ever will. Nobody cares and nobody loves you and nobody ever will.
Well, Bobcat, I know those. Yeah, those are the chords to the thing. Okay, it's okay. Well, that's it. I don't have any more Adrasdea videos. I don't have any more James Robert Clark videos. Black Hydra, any final thoughts?
Well, no more videos. I wonder if she just totally dropped off the map from now on. You won't hear a word. Oh wait, that's thinking
Well,
too.
yeah, we've thought that we've seen the last of her many times, and she comes back for more. Same with James. I mean, I didn't expect to have another video to premiere tonight, but James proved me wrong. So, James, honey, James, honey, I look forward to hearing your videos tomorrow, so that we'll see you tomorrow night on the LolCow Ranch. Okay? I love you, honey. And to everyone else for who's watching this, thank you all for watching Rocknar's LolCow Ranch. And